Hey, I'm Nashi.
I'm Rezlar.
And I'm Frosty. Welcome back to the Value Pack.
Hold on, I have to gear check Nash right now. Alright, that is some bullshit. Dude, he CC'd me how to dance.
What's happening? Rezlar!
People look at you like you're crazy, and they refuse to admit that it's pay to win, and just scream that it's pay to convenience! It's pay to convenience!
Big money, big money, big money, big money!
Oh shit, we got it! We fucking got it!
And welcome back to the Value Pack. I know this intro sounds a little bit different. Unfortunately, Rezlar is not joining us this week. I think he'll be back next week, but he'll probably let us know in the Value Pack Discord in the announcement section. I also, because it was kind of short notice that Rezlar wasn't going to be here, I don't have the list of thank yous to the patrons, so I'm just going to give a general thank you to everyone who supports the show and donates through the what is it, Patreon. We appreciate you guys very, very much. So thank you so much for the support. And yeah, that's our whole intro. We're just going to get into it. It's just Nyashi and I today. Nyashi, what's up? How's it going, man?
Not a whole lot. We're doing good. We're gonna have to carry the whole fucking podcast today, just the two of us.
Yeah, I think it's our first, maybe second time, but I feel like it's our first.
I know me and Rezlar have done a couple without you. I just don't know if it's just been me and you before. Yeah, interesting. We'll get it done, nonetheless.
All right. People in chat are calling you Natasha. We're gonna move on. So the developers had a late night talk. There's a million things to go over. So we're gonna start with the late night talk and then we'll end with comments. But there's a bunch of stuff. Calpheon Elvia released in KR. I wanted to ask you, Nash, because when we get there, that I know you've been talking to some of the Koreans that have grinded it, gotten some of their opinions. Balance changes hit live server. Wanted to get your opinions if you've experienced any of that. Also, they changed almost everyone's rebombs. At least every class got one of their rebombs
some
changed.
Way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it mostly seemed like PvE stuff, but we'll go over that. Sage got iframe on Bolt. The Shai meme became even more of a meme, and Arena of Solaire is coming out on Wednesday. To NAEU.
I feel like you didn't put enough emphasis on that whole Shai nerf.
What?
Dude, the Shais have been crying all over Twitch.
Have they?
It's actually very sad to see. I'm kind of depressed for them.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it a little bit. I'm going to do my best to make sure that Shais are mad at me by the end of this show. So we'll see how that goes. All right, starting from the top.
Won't take you too long.
Starting from the top, the development preview, Drakania Awakening and improvements. So they gave us this little teaser. I don't know if you saw the clip, but I will send it to you right now. Hold on. Let me do this. They gave us a 15-second clip of the Drakania cosplaying as Batman. So that's what this is. Just a little Batman cosplay here. So you're standing there with her cape waving in the wind. She puts her spear out to the right, and you see a dragon wing or a bat wing, whatever you want to call it, fly out to the right.
Which, I'm like, okay, so she's going to be legitimately a dragon in her awakening versus Succession, which just does like dragon-like abilities.
Lightning dragon-like abilities.
Yeah. Specifically.
So if we are to overanalyze, I want to send you this still image so you can look at this with me. See what I'm seeing. If you look on the left side of this still image I sent you, that spear, the second spear in the other hand, which she is holding like a spear, like it has a normal handle like a spear, also is basically a giant shield. And that entire thing moves with her left arm as a shield would move.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
I seem to recall a previous conversation we had
I don't
about
recall this. Let's move on.
Where
I don't recall this.
I said it was a shield. It kind of looked like a shield, and I got berated by this comment.
Yeah, you did. No. You first of all, you explained away that it looked like a shield, which that was actually a decent explanation. But you initially said that cartoon image looked like a Valkyrie. That was the part that we disagreed.
That part's fair.
Yes, and then you explained that, well, it's like a shield and a spear in the other hand. And I also thought, because the texture on that cartoon image to me did not, it looked like cloth.
Yeah, it looked weird.
More so
it was
than
hard
a hard
to tell
material.
because obviously without an animated form of it, you can't tell if parts are moving or not. But it did look kind of like there was cloth on there or something.
And here it looks like there's absolutely no cloth. Like it's moving as one whole solid unit when you see her like turn her arm and whatever. So I guess a double or a spear in her right hand and then a spear shield in her left hand. I don't know how else to explain it. It is a little bit depressing that this cool teaser begins with clipping of the cape. It's just the spear's cutting right through the middle of the cape in the back.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. It's just, even in the demo.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is, yeah.
It's just clipping right through.
I didn't notice that. Well, they've always had a problem with capes and long weapons like that. Like even Maewa, if we end up with any sort of cape on an outfit, it'll poke through.
No, Maewas are kind of stuck with reverse bibs.
Well, yeah, but the small ones, there are some outfits that have, even with the small ones, where it'll be where the spear is kind of still going through it a little bit. Can't remember which specific one because I melted all my fucking costumes, but
hey man, sometimes you just need that Tridosto to go, you know? Sometimes in these enhancement sessions when you're just trying to make a little bit of silver, you end up losing all your favorite outfits. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's how it is. It'd be like that.
Yeah.
I think one of the examples is the Rakashan one. It's not like a cape per se, but it's like the headdress that has like a drooping headdress in the back. Let me see if I can send you an image of it.
I pulled it up. Oh yeah, it cuts right through the veil, like the reverse veil thing.
The spear would, if you're just standing idle, sometimes will just poke right through it. But it's like not even really worth mentioning.
I love that this outfit is like the outfit with the least amount of cloth, and they still found a way to make it clip.
Yep.
It's like the least amount of outfit there at all, and it still is clipping through the top of the veil. All right, so here's what they said about the Awakening. And we do have kind of a hard release date, at least a hard target release date. I don't know if it'll actually happen, but
maybe.
This was sort of a Q&A that they did on, God, what was it? Was it Friday, either Thursday night or Friday night? I think it was the night after the Global Labs.
Yeah,
or maybe it was the same night.
I don't remember what day it was specifically, but it was recent.
Yeah, June 3rd. So I think it was the same night as the Global Labs. But all right, so the question was, what's Drakania's Awakening and appearance like? And the response, and this is translated through, I don't know. This is on the NAEU Play Black Desert website. So they say, as mentioned before, we are developing Drakania's Awakening by analyzing the playstyles and countless feedback given to us by our adventurers. Drakania's Awakening weapon will actually be 2 spears of different shapes and form. We also wished for her awakening to bring out more of her draconic nature, so we have been designing her movement skills and attacks to display an actual dragon's wing. We felt that this was a unique type of action and feel we wanted Drakania's Awakening to embody.
Okay. So it is 2 spears.
So it is 2 spears, but that other one is a weird shaped spear with some stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then the second question was, what's Drakania's combat style like? And they said, upon awakening, Drakania awakens her inner dragon, taking on a different form to display her draconic power that's left unseen when in human form. The moment she spread her wings is when she fully reveals her draconic powers. While not applicable to all skills, certain skills will display different action and or effects when used in human form versus her dragon form. However, all of this is still under development, and we are only able to share these concepts for the time being. We'll reveal more at a later date. And then here's the kicker. Now, as a reminder, Drakania came out on, let me make sure I have this date right, April 6th. Wednesday, April 6th. Or maybe it was, yeah, Wednesday, April 6th. The next question is, when will Drakania's Awakening be released? And they said, many of you may be asking, Drakania's Awakening, when? We're here to announce that she will be available next month. We're targeting her release for the 3rd week of July.
Interesting.
So,
That is a very long time for the Awakening.
that is a long time. It's 3 whole months later, and I have to issue a public apology because multiple times on my stream, and I don't know the name of the person, and hopefully they step forward eventually and claim their rightful glory, but they were like, Drakania Awakening's coming out with the next season. And I was like, there's no way they're going to release Succession in one season and then Awakening in another season, but this kind of lines up with the Awakening coming out.
They are milking this class hard.
They're kind of lining up this Awakening with the release of the next season. So I was wrong. My apologies. I thought there's no way. I thought this would be out by the end of June. That was my guess. And even that seemed long. But yeah, I guess it's not coming until the end of July.
Is it fair of me to say that I'm actually a little scared to see the Awakening because the fucking Succession is absolutely oppressive right now in GVG scenarios?
Maybe. Yeah, for sure. But they'll be different, right? Like, it's kind of like,
We hope.
well, I don't know. I'm like thinking of it like, you're depending on your class, right? Because so Drakania, the reason why like classes without a grab or whatever struggle with Drakania is just the forever protection and not being able to get it out in the heals and taking this. Kind of reminds me of Suck Nova a little bit. Like fighting a Suck Nova is a nightmare on a class like that. But then Awaken Nova, at least in a 1v1, Awaken Nova is manageable. So maybe it'll be like that. Who knows? Some people are comparing it to Corsair Awakening, saying that took a long time as well. Corsair Awakening took 6 weeks. So this will have been 11, 12, 13. This will be 14 weeks. So this will be quite a bit longer than that. 8 weeks longer than it took for Corsair to get their Awakening. Even though the Corsair Awakening did feel like a long time. The other reason it felt like a long time is because her Raboms and the C skills didn't come out. At least Drakania Succession form is a fully complete class. Right? Like it has its full Succession kit. It's not missing anything except for good PvE. So there's that. And then they talked about a bunch of other stuff not Drac related. So yeah, apologies to everyone who is excited about your Drakania Awakening, but you have till the 3rd week of July, so go grind up that tag money. You know? You have time to save silver. Lucky you guys. All right, so separate from that, I'm just gonna kind of go through these quickly. So I don't think too many of them were too crazy, except for the bottom one that we'll talk about, the GVG stuff. So the question was, besides Drakania's Awakening, what else is in store? Screen alert changes. They've received a lot of feedback on how alert messages in the upper portion of the screen break the sense of total immersion in the game. We'll be readjusting the value of all in-game items to reduce number of alerts that are displayed during gameplay. Buff duration improvements. We've heard a lot regarding the different buff durations. So first, we'll work to unite all foods and scrolls to a 30 or 60 minute duration. Secondly, for buffs while defeating monsters, we're considering making a feature like Fairy's Miraculous Cheer skill that will use buff items automatically. Hopefully that's nice and pay to win. Just like the Fairy. Hopefully it's just as toxic as trying to get Cheer 5 on a Fairy. You're going to need, what would it be called?
The item? The pay to win item?
No, it wouldn't be. Let's pretend it's a Fairy skill. that consumes your elixirs for you off cooldown. First of all, we know they would do 4 different levels.
An alcoholic.
Level 1 would only consume a giant strap every 90 minutes. So you only have 15 minutes of the buff. Level 2 would consume it every 60 minutes. Level 3 every half hour, and level 4 every 15 minutes.
That just sounds toxic as fuck to have as a skill.
It'll only take on average $150 to roll.
$150 to roll.
Yeah, this should be pretty cool. I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't come with the actual fairy. It would be nicer. A better comp would be making it like the what's it called? Alchemy stone automatic usage versus the fairy one. But, you know, is what it is. See what ends up happening with that. Old Moon Grand Prix matching. Having to physically move to the Old Moon Grand Prix to participate in the race lessened its approachability. With the recent matching technology we developed for the Arena Solar, that is... Hold on, I have to change this in my chat. This is my... Yeah, this is the quote of the day. Let me edit this. Quote of the day. Let's see. Exclamation point. Quote of the day. All right, here we go. With the recent matching technology they developed. Their personal IP. I hope they have that matching technology patented. I wouldn't want that to be stolen by anybody. Okay, so continuing on, they say with the recent matching technology we developed for Arena Solaire, we seek to change the Old Moon Grand Prix to adopt a similar matching system where you can simply register for a match, continue playing the game, then queue in when the race is ready. We're experimenting with adding this system to other content such as Ataraxian. That would be awesome, by the way.
That would be cool.
That, if they could figure out how to get this really unique technology into the hands of people that want to do the dungeon, that would be really, really awesome. I'm just going to milk them calling this a new technology. I just have to. This proprietary technological advancement is huge for the game. And I'm really, really excited for it. Honestly, though, if that came to the dungeons, that would be really, really cool. Because,
yeah,
I don't know. Getting ready for the dungeons and meeting up over at the entrance, it's pretty outdated system. They say, however, we ask you for your understanding and patience as it may take some time to develop. They say, increase the one-time central market purchase amount. There are times when our adventurers seek to purchase a large number of items only to be forced to purchase in limited quantities over multiple attempts. We felt too many adventurers were inconvenienced by this limit. We seek to increase this amount, however, to prevent any form of cornering of the central market. We are still deliberating on the appropriate amount. So some of the changes are going to, adjust.
So I can buy more than 500 Valencia meals every time I want to do my damn Imperial tournaments. That's good news.
Or you can buy more than... Well, I don't know, actually, because they don't have a solid number, but maybe you'll be able to buy more than 5 Spirit Stones when you're trying to grind them up for Alkstone power.
Oh, thank God. Please. That's the worst.
Yeah.
Fucking just tedious. So many extra clicks.
Node War, Conquest War, Command Posts, and Annex Conditions. They say, we received a lot of feedback regarding Node Conquest Wars, particularly the many inconveniences endured by our builders. We are currently looking into ways to make building command posts and annexes a bit easier, which is nice, obviously. Hopefully that does get changed. Imperial Crafting Delivery Box Weight. Whereas Imperial delivery was limited in amount per server, currently delivery is limited in amount per adventurer. Therefore, we felt there was no need for delivery boxes to weigh so much. Many of you may have been inconvenienced with suddenly becoming overweight after packing a delivery box, so we plan on reducing the weight of these boxes to 1/5 the weight, so it'll be 10 LT of their current weight sometime soon.
That's awesome, actually. I like that.
Yeah, that is awesome.
It is kind of tedious to constantly manage that.
Yeah. It is, actually, and partly why I don't do it.
Well, it's only like 60 mil, so it's not really all that much.
Well, it's 60 mil a minute, which translates to a million mil an hour, you know? Wizard
Yeah.
Physique. This one I want to skip over because it's tilts me, but they say we wanted to share our hard labor thus far in improving the physique of the wizard class, which I find very interesting. They say the work is almost complete as we created all new animations and are currently adjusting all existing outfits to look perfect on his new model. This has taken a bit longer than we first anticipated. We ask for your patience and understanding. So they just show a picture of a dude in underwear. It looks good though. Here's so you have something to look at. Actually, there's that picture. You're welcome for that.
Oh god.
Don't say oh god. It looks good. Lowering barrier to entry and increasing income for great ocean content. Now this one is specifically for Jax, since he's the last person that even touches the ocean outside of trying to get to Secrea. They say, you need barrier ships to enjoy more great ocean content. However, we feel that ships take too long to build. Caravels and galaxies can be built in a few days with some investment, but the process is very complicated and requires a lot of materials which make them difficult to obtain. Therefore, we plan to improve caravels and... Am I saying this right? Galaxies? Galicias? What is this word? I don't know this word at all. I've never heard or seen this word in my life. Someone type this out. Galliasas? I'm looking this up. I will not be insulted by chat, all right? First of all, I just want you to know, if you know what this word is, your gear is a shit, okay? That is a fact. If you know what this word is, your gear is trash, okay? I'm just going to say that, and your performance in Node Wars could be improved. All right, let me look up how to pronounce Galliassus. I'm looking at it's like it kind of looks like Gallimimus, you know, the dinosaur.
Sure. I'll defer to you on that one.
All right, here we go. We're gonna listen to this. Where's the audio?
Gallias or Gallius.
Gallias or Gallius. Okay, so I wasn't that far off.
No, it sounded like you were close.
Yeah. I don't know how chat could be so wrong and also be so undergeared. It's crazy. However, Carracks are the ultimate ships that many adventurers who enjoy great ocean content aspire to obtain. So, these will remain the same. Instead, Sunset Blackstones will be changed to take 20 minutes to make so that items can be equipped faster after upgrading the Carracks. We are also aware that the income from hunting saltwater crocodiles, which is required to upgrade Carrack equipment, is fairly low. We will work as quickly as possible to get this adjusted soon. Also, they will be balanced so they can be hunted solo.
Huh. Interesting.
People are not letting go the way I initially pronounced this word. You know what? Luckily, I'll probably never have to say this word again in my life, so I'm moving on. All right.
True.
Item restore methods. Many of you have contacted support when you've accidentally deleted an item. To build on the current iteration of the item restore function, we are working on adding more in-game functions to address the most common item restoration related issues. Yeah, I mean, basically, they just need something that auto-restores a bunch of pen items people delete when they quit, so when they come back, they could just play the game.
That's true. I may know a few streamers that have done that. Not naming names.
Concerns. All right, now this one might spark a discussion. Concerns Guild Wars. Looking over our CS tickets, we've noticed there are quite a few adventurers who are exhausted from one-sided declarations of war by guilds. Thus, we have been deliberating on implementing changes to the current Guild War structure. We're looking forward to hearing from more of you regarding this matter. First, we are thinking of making guilds designate their type of gameplay. Warring guilds, adventure guilds, life skill guilds, sailing guilds, and so on. By doing so, warring guilds will be able to continue declaring war on each other as before, but guilds of other designations will only have to conduct war if both guilds mutually agree. By doing so, guilds that wish
my
to conduct
fucking
war
God.
will naturally continue their warmongering ways as before. I like that they gotta throw that in there. Make sure you guys know that you are in the wrong, in fact. Before you get mad at
Oh,
this change,
man.
you are monsters. Whereas guilds more pacifist in nature will have an actual choice in whether they wish to engage in war or not, since if both guilds agree, they will still be able to engage in guild war as before. There are countless circumstances that affect guild wars, so our discussion on addressing this issue has been ongoing for quite some time now. We feel that we still need some detailed discussion on the designation of Node War Conquest War guilds, so we wanted to pitch the big picture concept and see what our adventurers had to say on the matter. What are your thoughts?
I don't like it.
Why?
Because it allows for griefing to be a thing. There's already a system in place where basically if you're not war decked and whatnot, you're not deckable yourself. So if you're not working with any sort of like, GVG activity or anything like that, you're relatively safe. However, I feel like this just kind of just makes it go over the top. I don't know. It, if you're not wanting to be in a, a, a guild that is constantly at war or whatever, then just you need to be affiliated with a guild that's already not doing that. You don't need to go this far with it. I think this is just like wasted development time, honestly, in my opinion. It's addressing an issue that I feel isn't there. Because if a guild decides to deck for, maybe grind spot reasons or grudge reasons or whatever, I mean, they're going to be receiving decks. That just is what it is. So
Yeah.
why go so far to develop a system around that so that it prevent their guild from being able to deck in the future? Because that's ultimately what it's going to do, right? They'd have to change their designation, I suppose, in the
Yeah,
future.
so they changed
We
their
don't know how that would
designation.
work.
I mean, just off the top of my head, I'm imagining, just for sake of example, the strongest guild in the game being designated as a life skill guild. Like, would it prevent you from placing on Node Wars if you're not designated as a
That
Node
would be
War
my
guild?
presumption. Yeah, I would assume that.
Because
Sure.
I would say a
That's
side
war
effect.
activity.
Yeah, if they did it this way and they actually covered all their bases, there would be some ancillary benefits. For example, sniping might be reduced.
True.
Node sniping might be significantly reduced if, in order to not be permadecked on, you have to be set up as a war guild. So that would just make any of the guilds that want to snipe would also be deckable. Potentially.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
I
That
still
is a good
see
point.
I still see mostly negatives. For me, I'm just like, okay, so prior to Elvia, the issue was everyone basically had to grind Star's End or Secrea. Prior to Star's End and Secrea, everyone had to grind Hystria or Akhman. After Elvia, everyone had to grind Orcs. Right now, we have a decent variation of grind spots, but they also said that they were going to make it possible to grind on Elvia on every channel, which now that Elvia isn't far and away the best grind spot in the whole game, there's no real reason to limit Elvia to a small subset of servers. And if you just make Elvia available everywhere and make more parity in the grind spots, or leave the parity that currently is in place, we'll talk about how that might change with Calpheon soon. But then people would be a little bit more spread out and not feel like they're all stacked on top of each other fighting for a spot.
Yeah.
Now, griefing still
honestly,
obviously happens, but griefing happens both ways. And I think one of the reasons why a lot of... So here's what ends up happening. Everyone's reaction is like, dude, what the fuck? This is killing PvP, right? And then all the people that feel like they're constantly being killed by geared players look at it like, oh, all you guys want to do is stomp noobs. Now, some people do just want to stomp noobs. That is true. But the other side that's never looked at or addressed from the devs are the griefers that are literally just in your spot, taking mobs, karma bombing, try to interrupt your grind without flagging. Like those types of griefers, which are... I run into those people way more often than people that just come up and flag. I mean, I know, like, obviously I have gear, so maybe it's different for other people, but it's like griefing goes both ways. I'll put it that way. So I don't know. It just sucks that they're always seem to be addressing it from one side or another.
Yeah.
There was another thing I found. Let me get the link to this real quick because I think this kind of extends the discussion a little bit. I have to scroll up for a moment. Yeah, so this is a post from the Japan region. And now this is poorly translated by Google for me. I don't have an official translation. But essentially it's a updated terms of service that makes it against TOS to feed people to mobs. And the way it's described in here...
Wait, what?
Yeah, the way it's described in here is kind of like if you're doing PvP in a place and you're deliberately not using abilities in order to misuse the AI of the monsters to get your opponent's HP down to 0, it will be judged as a PK and whatever, and is against TOS, I guess. Now, this has only happened in Japan so far, at least that I know of. Maybe it's elsewhere. But the idea of this is also scary, and I've always said, like, I know being fed to mobs sucks, but there's so much better ways to deal with it. So one, a lot of the times people are feeding to mobs because they have no recourse because of the karma system. But two, if you're going to why would you go make this a TOS thing instead of just making it so you don't lose crystals to mobs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, now we have to investigate a bunch of tickets from people submitting videos instead of just making mobs not destroy your crystals. It's just like, it's so weird.
If you honestly, like, so they mentioned earlier about all their tickets and whatnot they get, some of the main ones that they deal with. I bet you the mass majority of them is like crystals being broken due to like desync or, you know, the servers like taking a shit. I know I've sent in a couple of requests before because of stuff like that. If they made it so that the mobs didn't break crystals, yeah, there's an argument where people could just kind of like, you know, throw bodies at a fucking boss or something like that. But generally speaking, I don't see anything in the game where that would be an issue. And it would get rid of a lot of their support tickets, probably.
So,
And then on top of that, you know, you would address the whole, you know, people being fed the mobs thing. They would still lose XP, of course, but that's fine. If you don't want to be losing XP, then you shouldn't be like constantly going back to a grind zone and you know, basically potentially getting fed to mobs. The crystal thing, I agree, probably shouldn't even be a thing in the game anymore at this point.
yeah, so here's the bold text that they've added to their TOS. They say, even if the monster makes the opponent 0, but essentially this is, again, translation, we will make a decision according to the situation after checking the video, etc. that you declared. So it's like, I don't know, man. It just seems like so much more work than a million other...
Yeah. The only thing though, like if making it so that your crystals don't break the mobs, would be an overall positive thing for them from a support ticket standpoint. That just completely negates anything that someone would have the ability to do as recourse against someone that's trying to karma bomb them, you know?
Yeah, I keep seeing...
It's like one of the few ways to prevent someone from constantly coming in and trying to like force you out of a grind spot by just like throwing themselves at you.
Keep seeing people saying it'll tank the crystal market. Has anyone seen the crystal market lately? I don't know, like, how much different you think it would be. But it's not like the crystal market is all roses. Outside of the ones that you have to make from, like, Node War materials, everything is... I mean, there's, like, 0 value in all of this stuff. Like, Elcar. Look at Elcar's 50 mil. I mean, what is there even to tank? I don't even...
Gem Vipers aren't exactly hard to make
Corrupted
either.
corrupted magic crystals are 38 mil.
Yeah, it's all the war related ones that are expensive right now.
Yeah, those are the only ones that are kind of hard to get. And even though, like, some of these have some sitting on buy. Yeah, I don't know. The crystal thing is weird. It's just this trying to run an investigation on every individual case just seems like so much extra work.
Yeah. Like, are they gonna really try to punish people that are feeding others to mobs? It just seems.
Yeah, NSG is saying in
I don't
chat,
know.
crystals don't break on console. LCARs are 200 mil. There you go. All right, so yeah, there's that. The PvP stuff is odd. I don't know. I'd have to see how exactly all these rules would be put in place for the Guild Wars, the GVG stuff, but I honestly, it's just like a problem almost like a problem. Most of this issue is created by lack of being able to find a spot. Right? Most conflict comes from running into someone else in your grind spot, and when everyone's congested in one or two spots, it causes a problem. And right now, it's actually a lot more spread out than it has been in a while. But I'm sure when everyone's grinding Calpheon Elvia for materials, it's going to be a nightmare for a while, especially if there's only, how many Elvia channels do we have? 10? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then if you're on South America right now, you have one. You have one on Arsha and one on a non-Arsha channel for the next 4 weeks. It's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also just added the
honestly-
private grind spot thing, which, by the way, my strategy for the private grind spot thing has been I'm just going to go to a grind spot and grind, and if someone starts griefing me, I just hit enter private grind zone.
Yeah, honestly, that's really all you need to do. Like, I actually have not once used it since it was released because there hasn't been a need. They've diversified the grind spots enough to where, it's not a problem. I can pretty much go wherever I want on any channel and have basically no issue.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a nice feature for
disappointing.
some people. It's just not necessarily a feature I depend on. So
Yeah. All right. So you and I have been talking a little bit back and forth. So Calpheon Elvia showed up in KR. I don't know when we're gonna get it, but some of the numbers I keep seeing, and again, I don't know. I'm gonna pull
I
up
think
some
in
of
2
these
weeks.
screenshots that you and I shared back and forth with each other. See if I could find another one. Like I don't know, or some of these YouTube videos. It's hard to say how good it's gonna be. What were you spoke to a Moose and a Meiwa who probably shouldn't be trusted because of their class choices, but what were their opinions on Elvia?
Well, if
Calpheon?
if it affects anything, he's planning on going Valk. So
Oh, okay, so he's definitely trustworthy.
yeah.
I say block class with heals and yeah. Go on.
So that particular individual I talked with, as well as SSM, or what's I think he goes by Blackface over in KR.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he jumped into Juice Discord or Guild Discord yesterday, 2 days ago, and was talking with Shaky and the crew, and Shaky got some feedback from him on how things are with KR. Trolls right now over there is making like 1.2 to 1.6 bill. And a lot of this value is coming from selling the shards for the Vel's Cup. Because the Vel Cup shards you can sell, unlike all the other shards out there. And
Mhm.
those roughly go for around 50 to 60 mil, depending on the market. But usually around 60 mil.
And the
it
assumption is
requires-
probably that'll drop, right? Like over time, those will probably just be sitting on buy at min price.
I don't know. I feel like it could, but at the same time, it's gonna be pretty much needed for every player that's interested in gearing up. If it's PvE or if it's PvP, every single player is gonna want it. So there's always gonna be interest in it. And you need 200 shards, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So essentially, you end up spending 12 bill if you buy all the shards outright. Now, that's good for players that don't want to grind those zones or don't have the gear for it. because they have access to the Vel's cup, regardless of grinding there or not. They can just buy the shards, or they can farm it themselves if they can grind there. Um, it's expensive, but at the end game kind of gear, that's actually really not all that expensive for 2DP. Um, especially with how much money you'll be making if you're grinding there. It's actually quite a bit. So, yeah, that's that zone. That zone's going to be pretty cracked for money, it seems.
Yeah, so that's well, it's you'd essentially be paying what 10 bill if you bought, let's say they're 50 mil each, and you bought all 200.
Yeah, it would be 10 bill.
Yeah, that's what makes me think that eventually the price, because look how many are sitting on buy already in this screenshot, and they haven't even had it a week.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're selling from what my understanding
Yeah,
is
of
when I
course,
talked
'cause,
to a few players.
Yeah, of course, because everyone needs it, right? Like the whole server does. But eventually, fewer and fewer people need it. But if the money is decent, they're still going to be. It's kind of like, think of red shards, right? Like red
Yeah.
shards on our server. The problem, if you could sell red shards, at first they probably
the
would have
market
been
would be
selling.
absolutely filled up.
Yeah, now by now though it'd be filled up. The first few weeks though would have been pretty nuts.
How far do you think it would tank in price, though, hypothetically, if
Red shards or this shard? I don't know what the min is, right? It depends what
this
their
shard.
min. I can't.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a floor basically on the minimum.
Yeah. We're
It seems
guessing
like 60
10
mil
mil.
is the ceiling.
Yeah, 60 mil
So-
looks to be the cap. You see the little arrow, but we don't know what the lower one. I don't know. I don't know. And if you're saying, if what the guy's saying is right, it's actually around 200 mil, or sorry, a 1.2 bill, then even if this drops to 10 mil, and even if they
It's
don't,
like nothing.
yeah, even if they
You
don't
get
sell,
it in 2 days.
how many do they get in an hour? Let's see, 10 to 14.
Yeah,
See-
it's insane how many you get.
That's crazy. That's a huge portion of the money. So it probably would end up being only around 700 or 800 mil once these hit rock bottom,
Possibly.
which is still good money.
Yeah. And you can get a raw drop for that cup.
Yeah.
Can you get it at the Trolls, or is it just the Hex
That-
Sanctuary one?
That I don't know. I'm not sure
I don't know
what
if you can
spots.
get the raw drop at Trolls, but I know you can get it at Hex.
Yeah, wasn't it that same Musa that has a clip of him getting it straight?
I
think-
believe so.
Yeah, I can't remember where he was though. The potion looking thing, for people that are asking, that's the upgrade to Frenzy Drafts to give it 5 more monster AP.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're talking about the red orb looking thing.
yeah. Did they say anything about the other zones, the other 3 spots, Sonil, Giants, or
I didn't ask about those ones because for some reason Trolls and Hex were the only ones that we really discussed. I didn't even think about asking about those.
yeah, Trolls is interesting. Trolls is fairly scary. Like they actually hit hard.
Yeah, it looks scary to grind there, actually.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few clips at Trolls and Hex of people dying with over 400 DP if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's definitely not a zone I'll be frequently that often. I won't be going there probably for a while because my DP is a little low. Even
Oh.
with my max DP setup, it's gonna be 383.
So he got the drop at Quint. I'm being told that's where the clip is. Yeah. Dude, these spots look pretty fun. I want them to be out just to add even more variety, because I feel like I've been grinding the same spots for so long.
Yeah.
Like changing it up. But the thing is that's really nice to me about the way they did Elvia this time around is I kind of hate that you're forced to go to certain spots for the red, the yellow, and the blue, and this one feels like you just kind of go to any of the spots
you can
that
go
suit
wherever.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that as well. Because like Bloody Monastery is for like the yellow cup,
Hmm.
and they have that new cup for the earring as well. And I don't make as much money there. It's kind of rough.
Yeah, you got to be an archer. Zachy just sent me his Bloody Monastery hour where he got 1.2 bill.
What the fuck?
Here, wait, or maybe it was 1 bill. Let me find this screenshot. I don't know what rotation he grinds, but you know, Zachy's different. So he got 8 bells, dude. Archer's so dumb. Sleeping on this class, dude.
It's actually insane.
I got 1.02 bill. 26 void seeds. Jesus, dude. All right, so that I don't know. California Elvia. Do you think we're getting it this week?
No, I think in 2 weeks.
You think in 2 weeks?
I think they'll probably wait 2 weeks. Now, if we get it next week, that more power to it. Like it's gonna be better for us. But oh, what did I get? Nope, nothing. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't think we're gonna get it right away. I think it's gonna be 2 weeks. I think they're gonna wanna try to like get some feedback from the players and probably do an adjustment this week.
Yeah, they made a
And
couple
then
changes on
we'll
Global
probably get
Labs.
yeah.
All right, let's talk about this. This wasn't initially in the schedule, but you want to go ahead and talk about your artwork?
Artwork. Oh,
Yeah,
you
what
talking about
what
my
is this?
character
This is
select?
your character select screen where it's just one giant Maywa. How you said this took you how many hours to put together and how much pay to win?
I was fairly bored yesterday and I decided to dork around with this because I seen it on a KR streamers. They did it with a character image of theirs, but they didn't do a full portrait like I did. Um, so I had an image already from my Mawa guide that I did. So I was like, huh, wonder how that would look on here. So I set it up and basically, obviously, I had my image and then I um, use GIMP to section it off in even parts so that I can take each individual image and paste it over top of the original character image, portrait image. And that ended up being what the result is. Came out pretty good.
It came out really good. Who's Nyashi Jr.? Is that your son?
It's just a that's my tag, Musa from Seasons.
Ah, I see.
I'm not very creative with my names for characters.
Yeah, me neither. I have a character named Triangle and another one named Squares, so I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We got to talk about. We got to talk about Global Labs. You know,
How do you change your disconnect character icons? There's a. I guess we should mention that real quick.
yeah. How do you do this? What are the
There's
steps?
fake Uni actually put up a video I think last year on how to do that, which is what I use. But basically, there's a folder you can access under Documents, Black Desert, and then there's Face Texture, and that'll be ultimately where you find all your character portraits.
Mm-hmm.
And you can open those files up and overwrite what's on it with an image of your choice to create a custom one, and then save it. And that'll be ultimately how you get the character portraits to display in your disconnect screen.
Is this against TOS?
No, it's a feature you can do.
Okay. I'm gonna report
I sent it to Armin. He didn't send me any warnings, so
to protect the viewers and the listeners. I'm going to send in a ticket with your account complaining about it, and
Oh
if they
my
don't do
God.
anything, then we'll know it's safe, right?
fair.
Okay. We'll report back next week on. And basically, if Nyashi doesn't show up to the podcast, probably because he doesn't have an account anymore, and he's pissed at me. So we'll know. We'll know. All right. Global Labs. Global Labs. Global Labs. Global Labs. Okay. Grindspot UI update. We'll start with the positive. This is really cool. They're gonna show how much knowledge you have. It's gonna be nicely packaged in every grind spot's just gonna look nicer and be a little bit more presentable on. It's gonna show the APDP at the top. It's gonna show your APDP, and it'll be red if you don't meet the requirements. It'll be green if you do.
This is actually really good.
Yeah, it'll show the knowledge that you're missing. It shows all the
Oh my god,
items
they
that can
added a
drop.
search.
They added a search. It's
Thank
yeah.
God.
This is very, 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 very nice.
Yeah, this is how it should have been from the get-go.
Yeah, this is very cool.
Like this fucking, you go to the item drop screen. This is just cancer to look at because
Yeah.
you're like, all right, well, it's not in alphabetical order, so I'm already fucked. And now I have to like sift through all this just to find the fucking thing that I'm looking for, the spot I'm looking for. It's just all around cancer.
Yeah, this
So,
is
yeah,
this is the
a
current one
huge
that we deal
improvement.
with. That's I don't know, whatever. But like if you want to see the items, and then if you want to look at the gear Rex and everything, there's just you got to go everywhere. There's like multiple screens, and this is all just nicely laid out in one beautiful UI. It's pretty cool. So that's nice. They also made it so a function has been added that allows you to directly check the hunting ground information by clicking the ground UI on the world map. So when you click on the world map, it'll pull you right to it as well. So this is, I don't know if this will do the GIF if I link the address. Let me see. Yeah. So if you hover over that or click it, you'll kind of see the way that works.
Okay.
I think you'll have to click it, yeah. But basically, when you hover over the grind spot and click on it, it'll pop this up directly.
That is so much better.
Yeah.
That is a huge improvement.
Ooh, that's a good point. Someone's saying the only thing missing is the Agris modifier, which actually is important at every
True.
grind spot. They should put that everywhere.
Yeah.
That would be really nice. And they should have a list of recommended classes. How toxic would that be?
Oh,
like,
man,
guys,
your class is in red for every zone for some reason.
Why is my class not on the map in any of these spots? Okay, moving down.
I like that. That's I got to give them credit. They've been doing a lot of huge quality of life improvements.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people still complain about this or that about the game. I still have my complaints about balance and whatnot, but overall, what they've been doing with the game has actually been really positive, and it's unfortunate it took so long for them to do some of this stuff, but it's really, really awesome to see. So
Yeah.
credit to him for that.
Yeah, it's nice. Like these ones too, because you're never really expecting it.
Yeah.
So whenever they come, it's like, oh, nice. That like the
you just
gathering
think you're
tool bag.
screwed with the system forever as it is.
Yeah.
When they come in like this.
So it's pretty cool. All right, class changes. Speaking of the area of the game that you said isn't perfectly balanced, they updated the Raboms.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, before you do that, do you want to talk about one more the UI change?
Which one?
The items backgrounds.
Oh, well, that came last week. Did we talk about that? I don't know if we did.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
We talked about this on a few days ago, on Thursday.
Yeah, I
Just
can't
me and you.
remember if we talked about it. But for those who don't know, I'm gonna go just to the KR patch because that's where I first saw it. Was it this one? No.
This is also another cool thing. When you showed me this, I was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah, so essentially, these new items that have this fancy background, the red, are not just because the Calpheon LV items. They actually went through the game, and all of the items have a different colored background based on the quality of the item. So, weapons, armor, blackstones, everything now has this kind of fancy different color. So this is just their example. It's not just this reform stone that has it. It's all items in the game. If it's white, it gets this sort of white background. If it's green, it gets the green background. Rare, yellow, red, whatever. So now it has this fancy background. That it's like such a subtle change, but I think it looks really fucking cool.
Oh, it does. It looks awesome.
It's like so basic. So you see, like this is a tongue grad earring, for example, and I know the people that are just listening can't see it, but tongue guide earring just has like a giant yellow background at the top of the item card. Essentially, makes it look like cards. That's how me and I actually were talking about it. Like, kind of reminds me of trading cards now.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Damn, minus 10 FPS." Probably.
Probably.
Probably. But they did also, in the last few months, they've also updated the tooltips. So now just items just have so much more information now, which is really, really cool. Like craftable, like how to craft the item, what the recipe is to make the items when you look at them. So on top of the background being added to it as well makes it look really, really nice. I am a fan of that. Yeah, those are cool UI changes.
This is the kind of cool stuff that just like really makes your game pop compared to the competitors out there.
Yeah, although in fairness, I do think most games have a background.
Probably at this point, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought the item wheel looks so odd to me in BDO. Like you could easily make this look so cool. Yeah, like if you compare it to something like Diablo 2's inventory screen, how your equipment looks when it's equipped, it looks so much cooler. Like the items are so small in BDO. The actual
yeah, that's
portraits.
true. Yeah, the equipment slots are very, very small.
Yeah, they could make the inventory screen, the gear screen more fancy.
But
It'd be kind of cool.
They're trying to fit a lot of info in it. Remember, I think it used to be a little bit bigger, but then they shrunk it down a bit because they had more information that they wanted to display. Mostly because we complained a lot about not having all the information displayed. And then then it's just become a progressive increase, adding new items, more information. Now we have tabs at the bottom to target, to look at specific, artifact related information, crystal set. Those things weren't there before.
They got a lot of stuff. Anyway, neither here nor there. Let's talk about these changes, Rabam changes. I'm going to just go down the list. And some of these include changes to the actual kit as well for a couple of these classes. Most of these, just a heads up, are changes to, like, are PvE changes. And they don't really affect PvP as much because they're not all of them, but most of them are PvE changes where it's, for example, the damage gets increased, but then the PvP damage is reduced, so it stays the same in PvP. All right, so Warrior. Counter slash skill has been improved. After using counter slash skill, the linkage to other skills has been increased. Improvements been made so that you can link the 2 hits of counter slash when left clicking while using the following skills: Seismic Strike, Frenzied Spear, Shield Assault, and Shield Tide. So it kind of adds LMB as a flow. Dust Slash has been improved as follows. Improvements have been made so that 2 hits of Dust Slash skill can be linked when left clicking while using the following skills, and the same ones as the other bomb. The Ranger got on Roaring Arrow, the crit changed from 50% to 100%. Improvements been made so that Penetrating Wind skill can be linked when pressing Shift plus left click. And then when using the spacebar while using the skill Extreme Charging Wind can be linked. Fury Arrow got a 104% damage increase on the 2 hits, and it no longer recovers stamina, and improvements have been made so that Penetrating Wind can be linked when pressing Shift plus left click. Sork got their Shadow Hellfire skill change. This is the one where they kind of move forward a little bit with forward guard and do 2 hits. It now is no longer 2 hits, it's just 1 hit, and they changed the damage. It used to be 856 times 3, and the additional hit was 1132 times 5. Now it's just 1 hit, that's 1452 times 7. The PvP damage reduction rate has been increased. I haven't mathed this one out, but I assume the damage is the same. Or close to the same. Shadow Wave. Shadow Wave is interesting. So Shadow Wave, they changed so it no longer deals its damage across a plane. It just, wherever you get hit by it, it always deals the same amount of damage, 1219 times 4 instead of 1219 times 3 up to 3 hits. They say they changed it to a projectile skill. Air attack has been removed. Down attack has been added. And after using the skill has been improved to link more smoothly with other Raboms. And then the skill effect kind of changed. So this one is weird because I'd have to see what the damage is like when it comes to live server, but it still has a float on it. So if you use it to re-CC, which sometimes happens if you're out of abilities or stamina to use Violation or whatever, sometimes people will use it to re-CC, and now that re-CC is not going to gain the air attack damage, so it's going to be less damage. But if you use it at the end of a combo, I guess now it has down attack, so it'll do more if you don't refloat with it.
Potentially.
Yeah, I don't know. To range flow. I mean, it always kind of was range flow. I don't know if the range is different than before or not. It doesn't mention that the range has been increased, but who knows? Maybe it is. All right, Zerker. Feral Rage damage has been increased. From 647 times 7 to 771 times 7 last hit. Same difference. Acts of destruct. This one I guess is also PvP because it doesn't have any additional PvP reduction. Acts of Destruction skill has been improved as follows. They increase the damage up from 768 to 1,000. Increase the PvP damage reduction rate. Change to apply the knockdown effect to all attack ranges. The effect of a 30% movement speed reduction for 10 seconds upon successful hits has been removed. When using a skill, melee attack power plus 16 for 10 seconds has been added. And the skill cooldown has been changed from 45 seconds to 20 seconds. That is interesting. I wish Rez was here to tell us his
feelings on that. Why was it so long
that.
before?
Because they hate rebombs. I'm telling you, like, they mostly hate rebombs in this game. I honestly feel like the devs regret making rebombs because when you affect a rebomb change, it impacts both specs.
Yeah, it really does. It's probably tedious as fuck to try to balance that.
Yeah,
but most of the rebounds, for the most part, are relatively utility based.
Yeah.
Most.
Yeah, true. Frenzy Tyrant has been improved as follows. The skill's striking action has been improved to activate more quickly, and upon successful hits, recover 30 health for each hit has been added. Tamer, they removed the 9% hit rate reduction on Horror Slam and added a down smash. And then Lightning Burn, they increased the rear movement distance, removed the 20% attack speed reduction effect, and improved so that you can link to other skills by left clicking Horror Slam and Legendary Beast Claw. So there's that. And they fixed a bug. Musa, Storm Slash. The effective 50% critical strike chance of additional hits has been changed to apply the effective 50% crit to all hits. And improvements have been made so that additional hits are linked when left clicking using the following skills. Pouncing Dragon. Like they say following skills and then list only one.
Well, yeah.
The Gale Slash skill has been improved as follows. Skill attack speed has been slightly increased. The speed of the Tornado has increased, and improvements have been made so that additional hits are linked when left clicking by using the following skills: Pouncing Dragon and Quick Shot. Meiwa, you want to talk about these ones? I'll read them and then you let me know.
I actually didn't test this myself because I didn't find it interesting enough to jump on Global Labs.
All right,
but I can at least talk about it.
All right, I'll do one at a time and you tell me what you think. So the first one is Decapitating Cyclone. Skill has been improved as follows: speed of the tornado increased, improved to trigger a whirlwind strike in the direction the camera is facing. Improvements have been made so that when left clicking when using the following skills, you can link Decapitating Cyclone skill to blow and the Tornado Blow with Chaos Red Moon, Blooming Stride, and Blooming Step.
So, I mean, a little bit of utility in terms of the ability to link between that particular Rebam and a different Rebam or Red Moon. But the Tornado Speed, it didn't really seem all that impressive to me. Like, it's not like how like Musa's projection is. Obviously, that skills like really fast with how it can CC. So
yeah, no, Meiwa's always going to be whatever Moose has, but a little bit less, you know.
Pretty much, it seems that way. But I mean, overall, it's just a utility float skill. We don't really use it for anything other than maybe pulling mobs in large scale, like or 1v1 type potential float option. So it's nothing really impressive what they did with it. It's not going to impact anything any differently.
Okay. Decapitating Dragon skill has been improved as follows. The skill damage has been adjusted. PvP damage is the same as before. First hit damage from 789 to 1089 times 4. PvP reduction increased by 7%. And improvements have been made so that the 2 hits of Decapitating Dragon can be linked when left-clicking to Red Moon, Blooming Stride, Blooming Step. Does this change PvE at all?
I gotta test the damage out, so the damage might be something. Overall, what this skill does and why you would use it, if at all, is because it would give you an attack speed bonus. But since Awakening, for example, we get an attack speed bonus when just using Sleet Step. We have it up quite often and all the time, pretty much, if you really focus on it. So it's not really gonna. It doesn't override it. It doesn't add to it. They're the same type of buff. So it
Yeah.
kind of doesn't do anything for Awakening. For Succession, though, they don't have an attack speed bonus like that, so they can incorporate that in PvE. However, that skill is not useful in PvP in any measure.
Right. All right,
So,
Valkyrie.
yeah.
The Divine Judgment of Light skill has been improved as follows. First hit damage has changed. It went from 835 times 7 to 1130 times 7. Improvements have been made so that the skill can be linked by left-clicking to the following skills: Celestial Smite and Celestial Spear. A 20% reduction in attack speed has been added for 10 seconds, and the effect of reducing move speed by 10% for 5 seconds has been removed. That's, I mean, you know as well as anyone. That's a pretty big change going from move speed to attack speed for most classes. Although it doesn't affect if it's not cast speed as well, I guess it doesn't affect some classes, but yeah, not everyone's affected by move speed the same as they are attack speed.
Yeah, unfortunately, move speed is against the vast majority of the classes is relatively useless of a debuff, in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
always in PvP. It's usually the cast speed and attack speed that really have the largest impact.
Not against bladers, though. Give me a reason
Well,
to use shackles, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
Against bladers, movement speed is pretty effective.
Shining Judgment of Light. I haven't actually heard from any. But I think Joe Bell told me that the changes are meh. Like they're not anything crazy, so who knows. But Shining Judgment of Light has been improved as follows. Behavior of the skill has changed. Skill damage has been adjusted as follows. So instead of 1032 times 2 up to 3 hits, it's now 1034 times 1 up to 7 hits. The second hit damage is 1034 times 6 instead of times 3. PvP damage reduction has been increased. Down smash effect has been added to the first successful hit. The effect of recovering 20 mental strength for each successful hit has been removed. Resource consumed when using the skill changed from Divine Power 150 to Stamina 100. It says it as it is changed to a skill that consumes endurance, stamina does not recover, and improvements have been made to enable linkage by pressing spacebar while using Righteous Charge and Shining Dash.
Shining Dash.
Jobel said, granted, I'm not a Valk main, so don't quote me. Listen, Jobel said that these changes are fucking trash. Kunoichi. Ankle Splitter has been changed as follows. The first hit damage has been changed from 694 times 3 to 1040 times 3. PvP damage reduction has been increased. The attack range of the additional hits has been increased. And the critical hit rate of 100% that was applying only on the last hit now applies to the entire ability. I actually think this is a decent change for PvE. The skill is a 15-second cooldown for absolutely no reason. It's a mostly unusable skill in PvP, so not sure why the cooldown is so high, but that is actually nice, especially on Awakening Kuno, where your DP debuffs are a lot more limited. It's either Ankle Cut or Halo, and both those have tiny-ass AoEs. So I do actually use this at the start of my combo. I also use this in PvE to swap to Pre-Awakening before I use Moonlight for the Tier 3 add-on as well. So yeah, it'll be kind of nice. I have to see against mobs. I was testing it against dummies, and the AoE on the second hit is still really small to me. Maybe in mobs that are actually like all grouped up and packed, it'll be nice, but this is a nice change. It goes from being instead of just the DP debuff, it's a DP debuff with a little bit of damage now. Not anything crazy though.
Nice.
Shackle target has been improved as follows. Improvements been made so that shackle target can be linked when left clicking while using Sinew Cut, Assassin's Trail, and Heart Snatch. This is actually really fucking cool. I love this change, and the reason why I love it in particular for Assassin's Trail is because Assassin's Trail, that's the one that starts off forward guard and then you do a backflip iframe, but the landing is completely unprotected, and it cuts that gap down to almost nothing when you hold L and B, and it uses shackle target right after. So that part's really cool. It feels really, really good. So
We can expect to see that used a lot, huh?
I think so. I use Assassin's Trail more than Heart Snatch because Assassin's Trail, as weird as it sounds after the reworks, because the pet scaling changes, Assassin's Trail does more damage than Heart Snatch and is just way safer to use, and also has a 10-second lower cooldown. So I'm surprised Heart Snatch didn't get some PvE buff at all. Actually, that would have been nice, but oh well. Ninja. The ninja ones are weird, dude. All right, so Shuriken Moon Dive has been improved as follows. The behavior of the skill has changed. The effect that draws the attention of nearby enemies has been added. The invincibility effect has been removed while the character has disappeared. The stealth effect after using the skill has been removed, and the cooldown time has changed from 30 to 20 seconds. So they essentially changed this ability to a pull skill. It kind of scoots you forward and then does an AoE that looks like Behead. Like, the animation's actually pretty cool, and it just kind of aggroes mobs. So now every 20 seconds, which would effectively be every 2 or 3 packs, depending on your grind speed, you'll have an AoE pull skill where you don't have to jump throw a shuriken. So that's kind of nice.
It might help out with the APM requirement for fucking ninja grind.
Yeah. So it's I don't know why, like, I'd have to see what effects this would have in PvP, but if it's basically nothing, which I suspect it is, because it has no protection, it's really slow. I don't even know if it has a CC. I don't think it does. But since it doesn't affect PvP at all, I don't know why the cooldown can't be 10 seconds so they can just pull every pack.
Yeah.
I don't know why they'd leave it at 20.
What's the impact of it being a shorter cooldown?
Yeah, because everyone's going to use the other bomb anyway, so it's just very... It's one of those head scratchers. Ninjutsu Decapitation has been improved as follows. The skill damage has been adjusted in the as follows. The PvP damage is the same as before. So the initial hit damage changed from 577 times 3 to 1533 times 4. And then the second hit damage changed from 1731 times 6 down to 1533 times 5. So it's still 9 hits, but now more damage on the initial hits. And then the end hits are technically less damage, but overall the skill's going to do more damage. I think this skill's weird. A ninja would have to test it, but if you actually use the skill even right now, it's actually comparable damage to illusion, but it functions weirdly. Now it might be enough damage. Someone would have to test it, obviously, but it might be enough damage to theoretically replace illusion for PvE. I think it's worth testing. I don't know for sure that it is, but it might be, because I think it's also like a 1 or 2 second lower cooldown. Anyway, yeah.
Nice.
Hold on one sec. My fan is getting squeaky. Okay. Wizard.
Can you hear it?
Were you able to hear it for a second there?
I wasn't able to hear it.
Oh, yeah, I could hear it in my headphones, so I was like, the hell's going on? All right, so Wizard and Witch both got Mana Arrows and Trembling Thunder damage changed. So Mana Arrows changed from... So it now has a forward guard effect while using the skill. Stun effect has been removed when the second hit is successful. Mana absorption effect when the second hit is successful has been changed to absorb when the first hit is successful. And the second hit damage changed from 231 times 7 to 808 times 4. And the character rotates when using the second hit skill. Trembling Thunder just changed the damage. PvP damage looks to be the same as before. The forward guard is interesting for succession classes. I have to ask a caster what they think about that. I'm curious what Wizbelly thinks.
They can utilize it for PvP?
Yeah. So we'll have to see. And then Trembling Thunder is just PvE damage change. Lightning Arrows. So the Lightning Arrows change is exclusive for Witch. Lightning Arrows skill damage has been adjusted. It's instead of 824 times 7, it's 1153 times 7. It has improved to activate faster when using other skills. Added a phrase to activate residual lightning when right-clicking in the skill description. And the phenomenon that the attack range of the skill was abnormal has been corrected. So, yeah, there you go. And then Dark Knight. Obsidian Blaze, they buffed the damage of it. This is the one that basically was just an absolute crap tier version of Absolute Wheel of Fortune. It now does 937 times 8. Believe it has 50% crit in PvE, if I remember correctly. But they also changed the animation to match Prime Wheel of Fortune, which means it's a lot bigger AoE. So this might be kind of nice for PvE. The problem is it still has a 22-second cooldown, if I remember correctly off the top of my head, which is still incredibly long. So I don't know how impactful it'll have. Oh, is it no crit? I have to look. Let me just double check to make sure. Because I was on Global Labs and I was looking at it, but I can't remember. Let me just double check to make sure so I have it right. Just for my own... I know DKs already know, so it doesn't matter. Young Trento is telling me it has 100% crit. Is it PvE only? Yeah, 100% crit. No, it's both PvE and PvP. Okay. Yeah, and this one's interesting too because it doesn't say they changed the PvP damage reduction, so it might.
Oh God.
So it might do.
Fucking kidding me?
It might do a little bit more damage in PvP as well.
Like they fucking need that.
937 times 8's not that crazy though, and it is a 22-second cooldown. But yeah, they might be a little buff to their PvP. You know, they're struggling.
Fucking unreal. Fucking devs tripped into buffing fucking DK again.
That's right. It's not the only one they buffed. Unveiled Fate has been improved as follows. The attack range has been changed to be the same as Prime Wheel of Fortune. The linkage of the speed of the attack between the first and the second hits has been improved. The skill damage has been adjusted from 733 times 4 on the first hit down to 375 times 4, and then the second hit up from 730 times 8 to 937 times 8. The attack speed increase effect when using the skill has changed from attack speed increase 5% for 10 seconds to 10% for 10 seconds. And 100% critical hit rate of the skill has been added. So that also, at least combo damage wise, might be a little buff, right? PvP?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Seems like it.
The skill also is weird. I forgot to test this skill. This is the one where it like dagger stabs forward and then does like a Wheel of Fortune type thing. So that might be kind of nice for PvE. At least. Maybe as like just start off getting your attack speed buff and it does a tiny bit of damage. Mystic, the movement distance of Iron Fist Fury has been increased. I was testing this. It didn't look much different to me, but I guess it is a little bit different. I still think most people will use Perfect Blow. Improvements have been made to enable linkage to Thrashing Wolf when left clicking input. Links to other skills have been improved to activate more smoothly. And then Thrashing Wolf got a PvE damage buff as well. Essentially, all the 707% damage across the skill changed to 954. Someone said that's under the assumption that DKs need to combo to kill. Yeah, that's my
That's very, very true statement.
All right, Lawn. White Heron. White Heron has been improved to change as follows. The cooldown time is decreased from 22 seconds to 13 seconds. The length of the frontal guard that's applied when using the skill has been slightly increased. So now it doesn't have a big old gap at the end. And the skill damage changed from, just going to add this, what is this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 872 times 10, now it's 921 times 10. And a down smash skill effect has been modified to match the actual effect. I honestly think I don't know if I guess it wasn't. I don't know actually. That is a weird way to word
down
it.
Smash like weird times during the animation.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even know. I'd have to ask Lons if they use this anymore. Back in the day, it was one of your 2 DP debuffs, so you used it just to DP debuff. I don't know if that's true anymore with how efficient Lon is. I don't even know if you use this. Yeah, I think this is the one with the DP debuff. So you probably, I don't even know if it's worth casting still. Cymbidium Trail has been improved as follows. The cooldown time also changed from 22 seconds to 13. The length of the super armor effect while using the skill has been increased slightly. And then kind of same thing with the other one. They changed the damage. They increased the damage. It also says they changed the PvP reduction rate from 50% down to 25. So this one got a damage buff, I guess.
Jesus.
But the damage numbers still aren't that crazy. You have to do all 3 hits, and it's only 680 times 10. I have a feeling
that's not too bad.
It still probably won't be used. And then improved so that it is possible to link with Sacred Dance of Souls skill when left-clicking while using Eyes of Blood and Phoenix Chase skills. So that's kind of cool. Now here's one that's interesting. I'm curious your opinion on this one. So Ultimate Verdure Clout has been improved as follows. This is the Archer ability. The behavior of the skill has changed. The effect of frontal guard during the one-hit attack has been changed to front guard while using the skill. The skill damage has been changed as follows. The first hit from 622 times 3 to 1324 times 4. And then the second hit...
What?
Yeah, so it got a massive damage buff on the first hit. The second hit from 1103 times 6 to 1324 times 6. The effect of increasing the ranged attack power by plus 10 for 10 seconds has been removed. The effect of floats on the first hit has been removed. The air smash on the second hit has been removed, and the air smash or the air attack has been deleted, and down attack has been added. And there's no additional PvP damage reduction. So
they increased the damage, they gave it a full frontal guard, and removed the CCs, except for smash.
Yeah. No, they did remove the smash. They added down attack, but removed the air smash.
Oh, down attack. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up.
Yeah,
so
they removed air attack, added down attack.
So depending on how that damage modifier is, they'll obviously try to opt for when they knock you down, utilizing that for the down attack damage to like burst you, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. There's a little bit of forward guard damage.
So some basically kind of sounds to me like a large scale or like GVG type ability. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the skill, so
yeah.
But just from how it sounds on paper, that's what it sounds like.
As Zaki said, as he read it when he first read it, he said, "Quote: Hell yeah, they doubled the damage of one of our bombs in PvP."
Oh,
so
yeah, that's not good.
Radiant and Snare has been improved as follows. The behavior of the skills has been changed. The stiffness effect on one hit has been removed, and a 20% reduction move attack cast speed for 10 seconds upon successful one hit has been added. So Radiant and Snare now has a slow debuff and no longer has a stiffen. Classic, then we doubled it. All right, and now the big one. So I'm going to read the blue text for Shai before I read the actual changes, okay? I'm going to read the blue text, which I think calmed the Shais down before they read the notes, okay?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it did.
It calmed them down so it was easier to take. So they said through today's patch, Shai's monster defense reduction ability has been adjusted. Basically, Shai shows good efficiency when dealing with monsters with high defense with reduced defense and a large number of hits. However, while she was preparing for the highest level of hunting ground updates such as Crypt Arresting Thoughts, Gyphon Temple Underground, Calpheon Elvia, we decided that it was unreasonable to continue considering the balance as it is. In particular, her monster defense reduction ability based on percentage had an excessively high efficiency in the highest level of hunting ground. Therefore, through today's patch, the 10% monster defense reduction effect of Shai's Hop 3, Quick 2, and Twirl 3 skills has been changed to reduce all defense by 30. And the cooldown of Misty Haze skill has been adjusted from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. And the skill has been largely adjusted to the cooldown while maintaining the defense reduction ability so that its power can be maintained in party hunting or in certain situations. However, by allowing Florin Leaves to recover from various skills, the attack power increase effect can be maintained to the maximum through Twirl 3, 1, 2, 3, and Go. A 6% increase in all hit rates have been added to try this skill as well. In the case of Misty Haze skill, as the cooldown time is adjusted, it becomes more important, so we've improved so that super armor can be applied from the start of the skill. I think that many Shai adventurers will feel very sorry for this adjustment. We wanted to keep it as much as possible, but we decided that it was a necessary part to clean up, as higher hunting grounds will continue to be released in the future, as well as the past hunting grounds. However, the key to this adjustment is not necessarily to drastically reduce Shai's hunting ability, but to adjust the efficiency where it is too high in specific hunting grounds. Today's patch is not the end, but we'll continue to check and adjust if not enough. All right,
The
so
devs basically said, "You bitches are too OP, or we're nerfing you down."
Misty Haze changed from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. The duration of the skills changed from 20 seconds to 30 seconds.
Wait. You can't just gloss over that so
30,
quickly.
30
Let's slow
well,
that
I
down.
read it in the part above. Now I'm just reading the bullet points now. So yeah, the cooldown changed from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. This is their big fat debuff, but the duration now lasts 30 seconds. So it's essentially like a almost like an e buff.
Yeah.
The hop 3 quick 2, these skill names. I mean, already these skill names just scream that this class was going to be nerfed eventually. You know what I mean? All defense reduction, 10% effect has been changed to all defense reduction by 30 for monsters. This quick 2 thing got changed. All evasion effects have been changed to 6 to 9%. That got deleted. Twirl 3 improvements have been made so that floor and leaves are restored for each skill movement. 1, 2, 3 improvements have been made so that floor and leaves are restored for each skill movement. A 9% reduction in all evasion rates have been added on successful hits to 1, 2, 3. Go improvements have been made so that floor and leaves are restored for each skill movement. An explanation has been added to it that cannot be activated during cooldown. Try this. Improve to link smoothly after the next skill. Twirl, boom, hop 3, quick 2. This is all just seeing if I can even get through these skill names. When using a skill, or when using this skill, a 6% effect has been added to increase all hit rate for 10 seconds. We're going to win. The duration of the effect has been changed from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Misty Haze, Do It Better, Delusive Light has been improved so that the super armor is applied from the start of the skill. When using Sun, Moon, Star, Shout to the Sky, Time to Shine, Summer Rain, Do It Better, skills monsters within the area of effect of the skill have been improved to be able to acquire loot even if the monster is killed by a party member or unit member. All right. So, Shai's, like I said, my goal is to remind Shai's that they are supposed to hate me. Now, I'm going to say this, and I've been saying this for a long time.
What's funny? They just had the pack east and whatnot, and there was an abnormal amount of Shais there.
Listen,
and then
okay.
this happens.
So they're thinking on it. I understand the thinking on it, and I obviously need to see. I need to see how the efficiency works when a Shai is in your actual group at Oloons, right? Like in an actual test versus like, we're just dead. But I will say, and I understand, things obviously don't look good. But here is what I've been saying for a long time. And Shai's they do not believe me. Pearl Abyss doesn't want this class to be popular. They just don't. They never have. They never will. The class's intention was always a novelty from day one. You literally were not allowed to ride horses when the class came out. That is how it came out. It wasn't until a bunch of backlash and complaining from the classes that they eventually changed that, and they have made improvements along the way. But at the end of the day, I think that they regret it. I feel similar to Rabam's, but I feel way more strongly about this. I think that they regret making the Shai. I legitimately believe that they regret making the Shai as it is because they don't really want it to be a class. It was supposed to be a fun novelty that got taken too far by the fans.
Yup.
And while me and Reslar had a huge argument during the comment section 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I think it was during the reworks, before the reworks came out. And my take was, and I used the analogy of like, if you see a good friend of yours being emotionally abused by their significant other, yes, obviously you would want that significant other to change, which is the argument the Shais always make. It's like, well, we should be fighting for change. And you should. You absolutely should be. But you also should not be supporting the abuse by continuing to play the class and buy costumes on the class and promote the class in any way, because Pearl Abyss is not giving you what you guys need, and you deserve better. You just absolutely deserve better. You don't deserve what you guys are going through, okay? You never have, never will. For whatever reason, they don't want this class to be great. Do I think this class will still probably be the de facto group class. Probably, if I had to bet money right now, I'd say your Olin group is probably still going to be better with a Shai than without. But I can understand the frustration of it going from super efficient and like we definitely need a Shai to not necessarily needing a Shai. I like one of the memes I saw was, yeah, Perlibus decided that there weren't enough strikers in Olin groups. They wanted to increase strikers from 2 to 3.
Oh my god.
It's
true.
So
I mean, like I don't know.
I was shocked.
Like from a PvE standpoint, like I understand that this is upsetting and whatnot, because it's like one of the main things that they're really good at with the group PvE.
Mhm.
But it's like Shies have been pushing for buffs in so many different areas of the game, like PvP and whatnot. They want their class to be like a normal class when they were originally told that's not going to be the case, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like you said, it's kind of like you guys. I don't know. Like they purposely, like in your analogy, they purposely put themselves into this relationship. You know, like I don't know what else to say other than that. Like this is self abuse at this point.
Yeah. Look here. I'm gonna say this. Wutaro in chat is saying you don't need a Shai. It's recommended that you bring one. But here's the thing.
The efficiency is so good. Come on,
Wutaro, that is, it's a little bit disingenuous. That would be like when a Shai tells me they want their grind, like especially pre-rework, when a Shai tells me, man, our grind should be improved. It's like, dude, you don't need your grind improved. It's just recommended that you play a different class. Like, no, the efficiency is so dramatically different with a Shai versus without.
Yep.
That it's like, yeah, sure, you can do it without, but you're just making way, 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 way less money. And with way, way, way more effort. So
That's
it's like,
the facts.
Yeah. Like for sure. So again, at the end of the day, I do think that this sucks.
It does. Absolutely. It and you're right. They don't necessarily deserve this, but it's like you kind of knew this going in.
Well,
Like
I didn't. I was
that's my
surprised. I
feel
was
on it.
surprised by this, to be honest, a little bit. But thinking about like Quint and all these other
Yeah, it's
spots,
gonna
I guess
it's
it's
gonna
not
be
super
insane.
surprising.
Like you have Shies acting as like duo partners for players in specific zones where they're typically a lot harder, just so that they can farm, specific items much more efficiently and quickly.
Yeah. No, okay,
Like,
so here's where I really, really do strongly agree with Wutaro. So he says a 1 minute cooldown is expected, not 3 minutes. This is the
yeah, I think the 3 minutes is harsh.
this is an argument that I've been making for a long time, like back when way, like 2019, 2018, when they removed frontal guard from Twisted Collision on Mystic, where I was like, I don't understand why when they do a nerf, the skill can't be mitigated to a point where it's like, hey, we don't want you to use this as much because of how powerful it is. Instead, it's like, hey, we don't want you to use this at all. And they removed forward guard from Twisted Collision, effectively making the skill useless in PvP. And this has a very similar feel to that, where it's like, okay, this is too strong as often as they're using it. It should probably be used a little bit less. But to increase the cooldown by 6 times is a pretty dramatic change. Yeah. As well as removing the all defense reduction 10% effect. Although this one's not as crazy. We were looking at specifically Olun mobs. Before the all defense reduction effect was reducing mobs DP by like 46, and now it's reducing it by 30. So the hop 3 quick 2 one isn't as dramatic, but the top one, yeah, going from 30 seconds to 3 minutes is a huge difference in time. Even if they went to 2 minutes and still increased the duration to 30 seconds, like 3 minutes is a really long time.
Yeah. It is. And I do agree with that. I think it's very unfortunate that it's being changed to 3 minutes. I mean, with player feedback, they might reduce that some, but I think it's still going to be a lot longer than what it currently is, no matter what the end result is.
Yeah.
It was always supposed to be like an RP class. Like, it's the only class in the game that can play a fucking piano. It's the only class in the game that has the llama mount. Like, I don't know what they're expecting. They said from the get go that this class is essentially going to be a meme class, an RP class. They've been wanting it to be viable in PvP. They gave it the most cancerous fucking ability in the game, weaponized desync.
I blame Dreadspark. The reason I blame Dreadspark is because he talked about flying donkeys at the VOA.
Oh my god.
And it let them sneak this right under Dreadspark's nose. While he was daydreaming about flying donkeys, this happened.
True.
Yeah, this I'm sorry out there, Shais, for all of you guys. It's a tough pill to swallow.
We haven't had a Shai guest on, and we were planning on getting one in the
Now
near
we
future,
can't.
but now I don't.
No, the fear
No,
of just
no, I don't.
absolute
Can't.
destruction and TOS, there's no way we can't have a Shai on now.
Yeah, we can't have a Shai on now. There's absolutely no way in hell.
Yep.
Oh man. For the sake of all our streams with the fucking TOS.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to move on. Shais, I'm sorry out there. They hate you guys. They hate you guys very, very much. Jobel for sure. All right, we're gonna move on from this. Let's do a quick Nash, if you don't mind, a 10-second moment of silence.
10 seconds. All right.
All right. Guardian. Guardian. Pulverization has been improved as follows. Improved so that when you right click left or right while using the skill Fierce Disdain is activated first. Merciless Smash has been improved as follows. They increase the damage by around 200% per hit. And the following changes have been made to the Searing Fang skill. After the second hit of Searing Fang, do they always change the skill? After the second hit of Searing Fang, the speed linkage with Scornful Slash, Frigid Wind, Neck Impaler, and Scalding Wind has been slightly increased, and the phenomenon of not being linked to the second hit of Glorious Advance after the second hit of Searing Fang has been fixed. Chat's getting triggered, quote, triggered by Nyashi's takes.
Are they?
Well, there's this old expression, if someone is telling you something enough times, you gotta eventually believe them. Like, PA has basically told you time and time again that they're never gonna make the class what anyone really wants it to be. They just aren't. I mean, I'm at the same point with Kuno Awakening and PvE. Like, I actually think just even thinking about getting Kuno Awakening PvE to be good is just, I think it's on me at this point. There's no point. It's just never going to happen. It's literally been years. Like, a game's lifespan, the average person plays a game, what? How long does the average person even play an MMO? Like the average MMO player, how long do they play?
Probably a year.
A year, 2 years, maybe 3, and it's like, okay, well, 4 years of Kuno PvE never being good, so it's like, yeah, it's just never going to be good. I've accepted it. Kuno PvE...
the difference is, your class is actually a standard staple class that is intended to have proper PvE.
There is no
PvP.
evidence that the PvE has ever been intended to be good. So I can't even say that. It's in the same boat as Shai.
I'm
like,
just saying,
we're Shai with PvP.
There might not be evidence, but it is expected.
But I don't know why. They've never done it, so I don't know why I would expect it now. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, okay, so with Shai, I guess the only difference that they at least explicitly said they don't want Shai to be good in PvP, right? Like, they don't want it to be a damage-dealing class. But they haven't explicitly said it with Kuno, but they've said it in their actions, for sure, to me at this point. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I definitely just have to play something else to kill mobs, because this will never be good. And it's disappointing. It's a shitty feeling, for sure. So, it sucks. I feel for Shais in that regard, because it's like, man, this style of class is like, I want to play this class. I love how this class looks and feels and plays, etc., but they're never going to make it like what you guys want it to be. And why? I don't know. I would love like to sit down and like, hey man, like obviously making this class not be great in all areas is a bad thing. There's like the BDO has no place for a class with a niche identity. So why not just make it good everywhere? I don't know. It's very odd. All right. Hashashin. Dominion Slash has been improved as follows. The first hit action has been changed. Skill damage has been adjusted from 952 times 6 to 1377 times 6 on the first hit, and the second hit from 1296 times 3. I think the first hit is times 3. And the second hit is times 6. So 952 times 3 to 1377 times 3 on the first hit. And the second is 1296 times 6 to 1503 times 6. PvP damage reduction rate has been increased, so it's about the same damage in PvP. I have to compare this to Prophecy Blade because that's the alternative. Prophecy Blade is already good in PvE. Unless this is better, it still won't be used. And because the PvP damage is unchanged, it will not be used in PvP either. So there's only a PvE change. I just don't know if it's enough to actually make you swap from the other Rabam. And the other Rabam's protected too, so. And it does have a 1 second lower cooldown. Instead of 16 seconds, it's 15 compared to the other Rabam, but that's not really enough to decide. Al's Mirage has been improved as follows. You can now activate it by left-clicking when defending is successful while using Hourglass of Death. So that is really an interesting change for PvP. So essentially, if you're holding the forward guard for Hourglass of Death and someone throws an ability, you can left-click and it'll now use Al's Mirage, the Rabam. Potentially really cool. I'd have to see in practice. This one would be would require legit decision making because Al's Mirage does not have the protection on the hit like normal Mirage does. So there's some risk if you're not careful. But I suppose if you see like a Sork throw like a point blank Dream of Doom or a Musamewa throw a stub arrow, you could potentially catch them out of it with this if they try to shoot your frontal guard.
True.
So
that's the counter skill that I fucking hate, right?
Well, this is the Rabam version that you don't see that often because most people take the one where they teleport to you and it does the 3 tornadoes for just damage. Yeah, so this is the alternative to that. So, but it works the same way as that counter skill. Just doesn't have protection on the hit.
Gotcha.
So, this is an interesting change. I don't know if it'll be used though still. Nova. Nova got some really interesting ones. So, Cordum's closing has been improved as follows. The stiffness effect has been removed. Forward guard effect while moving backwards has been changed to forward guard while using the skill. And improved to move more smoothly when moving backwards. That is really awesome. I don't think anyone wanted or cared for that stiffness, so having forward guard for the entirety of that skill is really nice. A lot of people also use this as a precursor to the grab. So that's kind of cool. And also just as another means to avoid grab, since particularly with Suck Nova, since Suck Nova only has 1 iframe on a 10-second cooldown, this sometimes helps you avoid getting grabbed. Frozen Chain, they just increased the PvE damage. The PvP damage seems to be the same as before. Down smash effect has been added on successful second hit, so that's kind of interesting. Cordum's Earth has been improved, so instead of 1211 times 6, 1211 times 8. That's mostly just a PvE change. The PvP damage same as before. And Enter Darkness has changed from 910 times 9 to 1228 times 9. The problem is that you basically get either Cordum's Earth or Enter the Darkness, and I think because Cordum's Earth has 100% crit, it's the one that's going to be used.
Used more often,
I think, yeah. But otherwise, they're pretty similar in damage now in PvE. All right, Sage. Sage. Piercing Thorn has been improved as follows. Been improved to take the attack action more smoothly. Improvements have been made to enable faster connection with Rift Chain while using the skill. So I guess pocketing the Rabam now is more viable, I guess. I don't know if this will actually be used. We'll see. Void Blast has been improved as follows. The frontal guard effect has been changed to continue until the end of the skill, and it now recovers 60 HP instead of 50. I don't know how many people take the forward guard Rabam, but maybe now they will. Void Eruption has been improved as follows. The critical strike rate has been changed from 25 to 100%, and the skill damage has been adjusted from 1372 times 2, second hit 1376 times 6, to just a straight up 1372 times 6. So I guess it only has one hit now, and then the PvP damage reduction has been changed. And then Awakening. Now here we go. Ash, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
The
About as ready
defense
to be able to get.
The defense judgment of Bolt skill has changed. It changed from super armor to invincible at the start, super armor while using the skill. However, the invincibility effect does not apply when used during overcharge or cooldown. So every 2 seconds, Bolt is now an iframe at the start of the ability. So
Yay.
very similar to old Ghost Step, except Bolt is a 2-second cooldown. Now on Global Labs, when I was going to mess around with this on Global Labs, the overcharge is bugged, so you can't overcharge Bolt on Global Labs. Maybe they changed it now or hotfixed it, I don't know, but you weren't able to. So that made a bunch of the sages who can't read. There's a big portion of that community. They made them mad because they thought overcharge got removed, so they were inevitably pissed. But no,
right.
Overcharge is still there. It's still in the tooltip, and it was even mentioned in the patch notes, but it is bugged on Global Labs, so you can't really mess with it. But yeah, you now have an iframe every 2 seconds. They made it so when using Impaling Flash, if you hold W, it's been modified to move behind the opponent after the last blow, so you don't have to return to your original position. You can instead go behind or appear behind the enemy at the end of it. It's also been improved so that the Spearbolt skill is activated before Flow Aftershock when using Spearbolt Aftershock Relay. This is important because the way they changed the core, the knockdown is only on the actual Spearbolt, not the flow. So when you use Shock Relay to fast cast the animation, it used the flow first, which meant you wouldn't get the knockdown, and now you will. And then in certain situations, the phenomenon in which the skill is activated when acquiring Bolt skill has been correct. I don't know what that means, but yeah. So they got a little bit more love this week. I think the range of Impaling Flash still upsets them, because it got lowered a little bit with the initial change. But being able to move behind is kind of nice.
Yeah. I mean, Sage having what their main mobility skill had iframe originally, right? But it got changed with super armor.
They went through some phases, all right? So originally, the initial launch of Sage was you could only use Bolt when it was off cooldown, and it had an iframe. Yeah. And then they changed it to they added the overcharge version of Bolt, so you could use it even when it's on cooldown and it's still at iframe. And now it's going to be iframe only when off cooldown, but super armor when on cooldown. Full super armor when on cooldown.
Yeah. And what's the cooldown again?
2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
So a better version of Chase, right?
Yeah. Well, more stamina hungry than Chase, I'd say, but sure.
That's true.
You get the iframe more often than Chase, more reliably than Chase.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they should do for Musumewa Chase.
What?
Just
Increase
make it
cooldown?
a 2-second cooldown instead of 3.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that Musumewas really need big buffs right now, so that would be good.
Feel the sarcasm.
Yeah, no, I've been noticing too in my chat, a lot of people are like, dude, are they gonna make Musa viable? And I'm like, dude, I hope so one day, guys.
We could leave Musa out, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe Mewa could get the 2-second version since Musa's Chase moves them further, you know?
Yeah, well they have Fiery Angel, you know?
And they have Fiery Angel. That is true.
So, and that's, super armor, stamina free movement. Sure, you can't recover during it, but it's a lot of movement, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Shit, serious.
That's right.
I had to sneak in at least one attempt here.
So Net says give Musa Mewa 2-second cooldown on chase, but remove SA from chase when it's on cooldown.
But that's like the complete opposite of what happened with Bolt. They went super armor and then they gained iframe.
Yeah, that's
How the
what
fuck's that
that's what a
fair?
lot of non-sorks want to see on Nightcrow too. Give Nightcrow a cooldown, make it
And
super armor
actually
when it's
make
on.
them so that when they're at 0 stamina, they can't continue using stamina with shards. Must be nice.
Look, man, I do appreciate that they've been doing continuous balance changes. At least
Unsort. Unsort,
just
yeah.
on
Continuous balance
classes and
changes.
classes in general. To be honest,
Like, what class in this game has dodged so many fucking patch nerfs besides Sork? Like, honestly, that class is literally. It survives everything. I don't understand it.
yeah. Also, this was brought to my attention by Kerr and then reiterated by my friend Ryu. They removed the 100% down smash from Crow's Mark on Awakened Corsair, but that was not in the notes. So there's that, everyone. Live with that. That's one of those.
But wait, is it a 30% like normal?
Now it's
Is that what
30%,
it
yeah.
is? Yeah.
That's one of those
Isn't that
like
actually proper?
yeah. So it's like it sucks on one hand, but also it's like, dude. I mean, my
Welcome
thing with
to
the
the
down
game.
smash is either give everyone 100% or no one 100%.
Yeah. I don't think it should be 100%. You can get smashed into fucking oblivion. With all the damage that's in the game, nah. No class should have 100% down smash.
Yeah. All right. So that was the class balance changes. Are you expecting more going forward? Do you think they're done now?
I think they're definitely going to be doing more. I mean, they just touched for BAMs mostly this time around, right? So
Yeah.
I think there's still quite a bit that they plan on doing.
I'd be shocked if they stop. I mean, if they don't stop.
I
If they
mean,
continue.
honestly, Suck Musa literally just it's bottom tier in PvE, so they got to continue.
Suck
buffing it,
Moose's bottom tier in PvE. True.
Yeah, they're like literally below the Shais after Shai nerf, so
Mm-hmm.
they have to buff Suck Musa a little bit more.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Have you seen clips of that shit?
Mocker's saying they better not be done Awakened Guardian. I don't know what you're talking about. They changed Searing Fang for the 11th time in the last 12 months. I think Guardian's fine, don't you think? As long as Searing Fang is in the patch notes once a month, that class is fine.
Have you seen clips of Suck Musa grind?
Yes,
After
I watched
this
a whole
match?
video of them grinding Gyfin. They're a strong class. Strong class.
It's actually fucking insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how that even happens.
I'm gonna say this on the changes that we got added to live. Okay. Particularly with Suck Kuno. So when reading the notes, my initial impression was, look, yes, it's a dramatic change and it's a lot at once, and it's surprising that they did all of the stamina nerfs and cooldown increase and stam locks all at the same time. And I actually think overall it would be okay. The one downside, the one part that I overlooked, the oversight that I had in my assessment of the changes, is that Kuno's S-Block, unlike any other class's S-Block in the game, locks stamina and consumes stamina if it's attacked. Which is, I've been trying to think about it. I don't think any other class's S-Block, or even Q-Block for that matter, locks and drains stamina while it's being attacked. Kuno's is the only one. So while I'm okay with the stamina increases, because Kuno was way too insane, I do think it would be fair if, like the other 23 classes, if Kuno recovered stamina while S-blocking. I don't think that Kuno should not be allowed to recover stamina while S blocking. That's all I'm saying. Now, Nihilus is saying he disagrees in chat because he thinks that the nerfs were way too much. The problem is I can't even really fully assess how the nerfs feel if the fucking S block doesn't recover stamina. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we went back to the way it was before pre-rework, or pre-rework, where you S block a lot, which I'm not opposed to that. I just would love if the S block, like every other class in the game, recovered stamina if it was being attacked. So essentially, if you're fighting a Kuno and you know they've been stammed out, which if they're aggressive, they have been, I promise, then
Definitely.
when they're S
Nowadays.
blocking, just make sure when they're S blocking and try to recover, it doesn't matter if it's a crappy skill, a range skill, ranged poke, like just continuously hit their S block and it prevents them from recovering stamina. They can't recover. In fact, it'll drain it even more. So that is how you
Maybe suck.
yeah. You just got to keep the pressure on. Now, you don't want to be too close to where you're going to end up just getting grabbed if you're just sitting on top of them. But, you know, keep a little bit of distance, hit from the max range of your skills once they stam out, and just keep them locked at 0. And you'll be
makes sense.
good to go.
Easy strategy. Just throw on some grab resistance and then just go ham.
Throw on grab resist. Yeah, that's there you go. Anyway. So and okay, so here's the thing. So Bladers, this always happens. Compare Kuno's S block to Blader's S block. So Nayashe, when you're in Awakening and you S block, does your S block drain stamina or lock your stamina bar?
No.
Okay, when you're in pre-awakening where you don't have an S block, does your Q block lock your stamina or drain stamina?
No, but
No.
with Q block, you obviously can't move.
But you can't move. Now, if you want to make Kuno just have a Q block, that's fine. But our Q block, Dre, just like yours, we have a stationary Q block, also drains our stamina and also prevents stamina from recovering. Does your Q block do that, Dre? I'll wait. Oh, you also have a grab. So the S block shouldn't recover stamina because Kuno has a grab. That makes sense.
Does
Okay.
block can require stamina?
That makes sense. No, that actually does make sense. So, okay. I wasn't
Does
sure.
block jump have stamina costs? I don't remember.
Yeah. I don't know. Does Ice Pick recover stem? Does it
No.
lock your stem? No.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Okay.
But it's a forward skill.
Oh, okay.
It's not an iframe that I can sit in
I get
for
it.
literally 2 seconds.
But does your block recover stem?
Yeah. I'm not saying yours shouldn't.
Well, I'm just saying,
I'm not
like
saying
he's
I
making the
agree,
point.
you should-
He's trying to say that Suck Kuno's S block shouldn't recover stamina because some classes don't have an S block. Are you saying you agree with that assessment?
No.
Okay.
I think you guys should have stamina recovery on S block.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with Bladers in that Suck Kuno needed to have more stamina costs. That's why I'm not necessarily with Nihilus in rage that Suck Kuno has stamina costs. That part I'm okay with. But you have a block on Suck Bladers, and so does Kuno, but one of them drains stamina, the other one recovers stamina. And all I'm saying is I don't fully understand why that would be the case.
I think Moose's Awakening used to, if they would S block, if I'm not
Back in the
mistaken,
day?
it used to.
I think
be
that
able
is
to
true, yeah.
drain But they did remove that.
Yeah.
But they
That was
didn't have, like,
that was a while
traditional
back.
block.
I remember that.
Yeah, they didn't have a traditional block. That was more like a counter type S block thing. So it was a lot different.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's not like, sure, if the argument is going to be, well, your S block shouldn't recover stamina because Bladers don't have an S block, or your S block shouldn't recover stamina because Kuno has a grab, then you have to go through all of the classes and follow that same rule, right? Like you should just go through and make all blocks should just lock stamina and drain stamina to any class that has either mobility or a grab or whatever. I get it. If that's the take or the feeling, then I'm with that. But my point is, I don't think S block on any class should require stamina, because S block is like the least dangerous thing someone can do to you, right? You're moving away from the target slowly, and you're leaving yourself relatively vulnerable by today's standards of mobility. Like people can punish an S block relatively easily.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's completely unrealistic to want an S block to function similarly across all classes. And I also don't think bladers shouldn't have an S block either, necessarily.
Oh, what?
Well, like if holding S gave you guys forward guard, I mean, I'm not really that opposed to that.
Yeah, we have that.
No, I mean in pre-awakening.
Oh, in pre-awakening? Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. Conan, how is your name glowing like that? All right, moving on. What else was there? Was there anything else? Oh, Arena of Solaire is coming Wednesday. I wanted to ask you this. What are your early predictions? What do you think God, it's weird because I don't know. There's popularity and then there's what would be at the top. So I'm going to ask you in two separate ways.
Two categories.
Yeah,
gotcha.
two separate categories. Let's start with the absolute top ranking. So this one you have to try to take into account who you think the good players are on NA to do this. But what are the top 1 or 2 classes you think you would see at the very, very highest end of the leaderboard when Arena of Solaire comes out after let's say week 1? Like by the time we're doing this podcast next week.
Well, it's a 3v3, right?
Yep. So there's randomness involved because it's not pre-set up team 3v3. So it's 3v3
I don't know
RNG.
how the damage looks on the new class or on Drakania and with the reduced gear. So I don't know for sure. Basically, like I assume that the damage is not going to be near as oppressive.
That might be a wrong assumption, but we'll see.
It might be, yeah. So if my assumption is correct and it's not near as oppressive, then there's time to go for catches and stuff like that. I think Warrior's still going to be up there, and I think Sork. And then DK doesn't seem as oppressive when I was at least testing in Global Labs, but mind you got to take that with a grain of salt. That's just Global Labs and people fucking around, not people that are actually serious per se.
So give me a class you think would be on the actual, like, let's say, I don't even know what the highest would be, but whatever the equivalent of like Grandmaster or Challenger would be. What do you think like the top, where it's like, yeah, I expected this class to be up there?
Yeah, I mean, that's Sork, Warrior, and I suppose either DK or I could hypothetically see Valk, actually.
Okay. And what do you think, separately, what do you think the most popular, like what class do you think every game you're going to be like, oh my god, another one of these? Like there's one of these on every team.
Probably Draconia. There's a lot of Draconias right now. I kind of feel like you'll see a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think you'll see a lot of Sorks. Because there's Sorks is obviously very popular, very strong. I don't think you'll see a lot of Warriors. I just think the Warriors that will be like good will be at the top, kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there's a large portion of Warriors that are just like they're not good. Valks you see very few and far between, so I think you're not gonna see a lot of them, but the good ones will be at the top.
See, here's the thing to consider, though, especially when it comes to class popularity, is the minimum recs to get in are having a level 60 character, because you don't need gear, you don't need any of that. So you basically just have to have a character that has enough skill points. Yeah. Which means people are going to be able to branch off from their mains, because PvE is just completely a non-factor. So they're going to play what they think is going to get them wins, or what is the most fun. Which is why I think it's going to be a lot of Suck Novas and Sorks.
Ooh, Suck Nova. I didn't even think about that.
I could see Drak too, but I'm with you. I need to see what the damage feels like in that arena in particular. But I could see a lot of Suck Novas and a lot of Sorks.
Yeah. Like Sork, if Sork wasn't as like brain deadish as it is now, like pre rework, it was actually a lot more effort for Sorks.
Mhm.
I would see a lot of Sorks actively participating, but not a lot of Sorks making it to the top. But that class just got like so brain dead over the course of the last year, and also with the rework, it's just like they don't even have to really do all that much anymore. They could literally sit in their awakening for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's a much easier class to play than what it used to be. So you're just going to see a lot more of them, and they're going to perform because that class in and of itself performs.
I also do
Um,
think because of the popularity of Sork and DK and Hash, Hash has been a little bit more and more popular lately, especially with the Suck Hash changes. I think there's gonna be strikers are gonna be fucking nightmare to fight.
true, but there's a lot of bad strikers.
There are a lot of bad strikers. There are.
Like there's strikers that just don't know how to close their gaps.
But I'm
like-
imagining a world. Imagine you end up in a 1v1. Your team dies, your opponent's team dies, and now it's just
between you and a striker.
it's a 250 AP Awakened DK versus a 220 AP Awakened striker.
That poor DK. He's gonna have a good old time.
DK is gonna have a blast. He's gonna be playing time. Hopefully, all DKs. PSA: if you end up in a 1v1 against a gauntlet, you just play the time. Just apply bleeds and run for your life. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see how the meta shifts. Basically, it's going to come down to a couple things. The popularity, like you said,
Mhm.
but I think the other category that we're not considering is what class are our players going to find that is the most broken behind like the mechanic aspect of the second map, and are they going to add more mechanics in the future? Because currently they aren't showing that they're adding more mechanics into maps. Because
Yeah.
that I think is going to be ultimately the play. What classes will be better served at getting those mechanics done to serve their team the best? And I think you're
Yeah.
going to see like fast movers or stealthy type classes like ninja and stuff like that can like kind of branch away, make people still like respect that they're there present in the arena, but while they're respecting them and not like really aggressing on the two that are sitting in front of them.
I think there'll be a lot of mooses too.
I think a lot of mooses too, just because of popularity, but I don't think they're going to perform at a high level in the end. I think they'll do all right though. I think you'll definitely see some perform pretty well, but I think the mass majority won't.
Um,
I honestly think Sork and Warrior is going to be like one of the top for sure.
We don't know. We don't know yet the time frame that they said, or the time, the allotted time that this is going to be active. I guess we'll find out Tuesday once we start seeing patch notes for KR and SEA. But right now, because they said that during the preseason, it's going to be only available during certain times every day. So that also is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know some
It'll be
people.
interesting.
Yeah, some people that play from EU are probably concerned. People that play in NA from EU, like Biceptimus and Multi, are probably concerned if it's during times they'd normally be asleep.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's for a decent number of hours every day. I'm really excited, dude. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. You know what I didn't consider? You mentioned Striker, but having 2 grabs is pretty powerful
Mm-hmm.
in a 3v3 setting.
Yeah, especially when the success is a super armor.
Yeah.
And every ability you use after the grab is a super armor.
Yeah, so your combo potential is pretty safe.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
Arena is going to be incredibly fun and incredibly toxic and incredibly frustrating. Because I already had, even during just for fun, cross-country, different region, for fun global lab tests, people were shit-talking in there.
Oh man,
They
it's gonna
were,
be.
dude. They were already shit talking during the global test version of it. You know goddamn well on NA there is going to
Oh
be.
man,
I would
I
not be
can't wait to see all
surprised
the macros.
if there was a stat by the end of the year of like a spike of temp banned accounts, like people that get temp bans from ticket submissions. It probably June and July are gonna have the most.
True. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to say the least. I know when Lost Ark, when I was playing Lost Ark for a little bit, um, during the arena when it was available, um, there's a fair amount of shit talk that was going on in there too. So I can only imagine how it'll end up being with BDO and BDO's community.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough. There's
Nyla
gonna be
said
so many copy pasta macros.
he's gonna int hard and complain about how bad my class is so we get buffs. Gotta learn from the DK Sork players.
Damn. Wait, I don't know what is Nyla's talking about. Sorks never really entered. They just continued to win both in game and on the patch
No,
notes.
the KR Sorks are the ones doing the inting for the rest of the community.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few examples, right? There's been quite a few. It's like the most common montage in KR for Sork is Succession. That's a red flag.
That is a red
Succession
flag.
Sorks. It was like Suck Sork versus Suck Sork in the finals. It was also there was that one video of the Sork on top of a roof using Mark of Shadow. They're doing all they can for the Sork community over here and across the pond.
Oh man. Yeah, that's rough.
That shit doesn't work for everyone. Think of how much Tamers cry and Maewas used to cry. Yeah, but you got to remember, you need an archetype that's really popular.
What does he mean used to cry?
Yeah, Maewas still cry.
Never really stopped. I don't know what you're talking about.
They've never stopped.
I mean, when they nerfed us alongside Musa and then Musa still comes out like heavily on top. I mean, is there not a good reason to cry?
Yeah. Maewas mostly now are just sad that they're ice-based class with no freezes. That's their biggest complaint.
Yeah. Actually, that doesn't even make sense. Like, what the fuck? Where's my freeze? Fucking Nova got freeze. Fucking which wizard got freeze? Which makes sense for them, but why did Nova get freeze?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not like I ever really get hit by it, but
I think that Arena Solaire is going to be mostly Awakened Sages and Shais. Just teaming up,
oh god. They're gonna take over out of frustration for all the nerfs.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait. Are we gonna queue up? Like, I know Reslar, we got to talk to Reslar and see what he says and feels, but I remember he said he wanted to do a stream on Wednesday if we get it all together.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
I mean, obviously, we probably won't be on the same team.
We'll be against each other. It'll be even more fun.
Probably, yeah.
It'll be even more fun. And I'll be on my Suck Nova. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, Suck Nova. Dude, how fun is Suck Nova?
That's toxic.
How is that toxic? You're a Maewa.
Wait. How is that? How is my class toxic?
Literally one-shot Suck Novas.
Oh my god.
You hit us with your toothpick or whatever. Icy toothpick.
What about Suck Mystic on Arena Solaire?
Dude, I wish Ice Pick's name actually translated to Icy Toothpick. That would have been so much cooler.
True. I agree. But they don't do our skill names justice. They changed our Royal Rage ability, our counter ability to reverse scale. Like, what the fuck is that?
Chasm's asking, do I think Arena Solaire will be the major factor on class balance from now on? The only way I see that actually ending up happening is if Arena Solaire is popular.
Yep.
If it's not very popular, then no, it won't be.
Yeah, it all depends on the popularity.
Yeah, if it becomes really popular, then I could see them taking it seriously like they did in the early days of Shadow Arena when they started making balance
branch
changes.
It off into a standalone.
Yeah, and then if it becomes too popular, then they cut it out of the game and release it on Steam. But yeah, we'll see. It won't be popular because classes are unbalanced. Yeah, then I mean PvP, competitive PvP where there's anger and angst involved, if it's not the base game, it's typically a lot less popular than the rest of the game. It's not really going to be not popular because of balance. If people enjoy PvP, they're going to play. Yeah. The balance is off. I mean, like, I look at Lost Ark and its relative popularity, and it's like, it has people that play it, but it's not a mainstay in the game. It just depends. Yeah, balance is never going to be good. So essentially, like that, this whole like notion of it won't be popular. They shouldn't do it because it won't be balanced. It's just then no game should ever do PvP, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm really excited just to queue up. I'm curious what's changed. The thing is that sucks about the global labs is we don't get any change logs for what's new and different in the arena. We haven't even gotten to see the new map. We also haven't gotten to see if any of the rules in the second map got updated or changed
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of question marks right now.
Also, like Global Labs has incredibly crazy bad ping for me, and I still was having a ton of fun. So I'm really excited for it to be on our normal server.
Yeah. I was actually enjoying it quite a bit. Now, how long can that maintain? We'll see.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's going to be extended because I don't mind trying out other classes and queuing up, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be going in there on Hash, on Kuno, on Nova. I don't even know what else. What else would I go on? Might try Corsair in there a little bit. Sork. Ninja. And it'll be fun. Maybe I gotta learn Valk. Maybe it's time to learn Valk.
Well, I heard recently that it's the easiest it's ever been, so if there's a time, now would be the time.
Is it?
That's what literally in Paladin said.
That Awaken Valk or Suck Valk is the easiest it's ever been?
Probably Awakening was what the implication was, but I didn't specify.
I think both
didn't
are
get
the easiest they've ever been. Right? Because
Yeah,
they've just made them
probably.
better, but I mean, is that not true with most classes? They're the easiest they've ever been?
I think that's fairly true with most classes.
Yeah. All right. Comments. You have to do your weekly Nayashe rant real quick while I use the restroom, and then I'm gonna pull up the comments. Be right back.
My weekly rant. All right. Well, fuck. What do I even say? Man, he's got me on the spot here. I mean, I guess you know, where the fuck are my Mayweather buffs? You know, they're supposed to introduce some new PVE buffs, and they didn't do that, and that's kind of depressing. Suck Musa gets fucking just insane buffs for PVE. Which makes it 0 sense because they were like pretty much like top 5 in PVE. Now they just get giga boosted. Here us poor fucking Amewas are over here. What they really need to do is they need to nerf Kuno PVE a little bit more. I think that's really honestly what they should do. Class is just busted. It's got too much stamina. Rip Shies. Yeah. Shies unfortunately got the shit end of the stick this particular global lab patch.
Did you get it all off your chest?
Yeah, it wasn't but like 10, 20 seconds, yeah.
Okay.
It was easy.
What were you complaining about?
Mostly you know, Suck Musa and Kuno needs to be nerfed again.
Both the
PvE
classes?
is too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, PvE too strong.
I understand.
And Maywa buffs, of course. Always got to get a weekly dose of that in.
Yeah. When are they going to give you guys Icy Angel?
Yeah, whatever that is. Give it. Whatever it is, I want it.
Nice little super armor, stamina recovery, move forward ability, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, just if they would have, just made it so that Chase was immune to slow effects, would have been fine. But, Moose has ruined it for us. So,
Fucking mooses, dude.
always ruining things for us.
Yep.
They're too strong, we get nerfed with them. Like, how does that even happen?
Yeah.
Fucking unreal, man.
It is pretty. It's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. You're a lucky class to be tied to Musa like that. All right. Comments. For those that don't know, on the YouTube video, we do read all the comments on the show and complaints. We'll call them a comments and complaints section. All right, here we go. First Law says, first, X Gris says, my name is pronounced like Chris, but with GX. Oh, with a G, X is also silent. So just Gris. No X. Okay. Can we upload to Spotify better so I can listen while I commute to work, please? And thanks. Keep up the good work. Appreciate it, you guys. Yes, we can. Masiak Kwiatkowski says, Matthew. Oh, yeah, I forgot Matthew. First of all, people on Reddit need to stop bitchy. There's only 3 asterisks after BIT. So that can't be bitching. It has to be bitchy. Need to stop bitchy. About Centaur money per hour. It's only for 1 hour. Full aggress is like 1.5 an hour for 24k trash, and its event drop. Either aggress, it's 250k plus. About that 1 hour private grind. Now the PvE players got their safe space to hide, not use it even once. I started enjoying duel for spot and centaurs with people in Tuvala gear coming to me and dueling. That's so cute. You guys always say warriors OP need to be nerfed, but I lose all the time. 1 verse 2 or 1 verse 3 are really hard for me. I wonder if that was on purpose.
I suppose it would be.
Well, I wonder if that was on purpose or not. And then he puts a sad face. Then he says, after price went up after the price went up for outfits in EU, there is still 0 available on the market, but it's way easier to buy them than it was before. I got the 2 newest warrior outfits in 3 days, so it's a change for the better. 2 hour grinds with Tuvala gear, and you got it. I need you guys to explain to me something. If 99.9% of the player base can't pay to win in this game because it's too expensive, why people cry about that 0.01% that they're never going to meet anyway? Most of the people got their gear from farming and lucky and chance. I am tired, really tired of 5 years of balancing characters. It just never stops. How about make it so every class need 1 full combo to kill another? Not just this 1 shot, 1 kill bullshit we got now. If you are in the same gear score, of course. If guy is lower, then you'll 1-shot him. We need to give PA some kind of reward for ultimate delay, badass, or some shit like this. It's bullshit we got now. Oh, sorry, that was the end of the last sentence. 3522, still no Drakania Awakening or even trailer for it. Where is Arena? Where is Berserk Suck Nerfs? How this guy? How behind is this guy?
I feel like he's behind a month or so.
He's behind like a week or 2. 900 devs and any new content you take so long. How about you fire 900 more so we got stuff in time? New region once a year, new Elvia once a year. Is it so hard? No PA just started to reuse stuff like with new character. Where is Gyphon Mount, Bear or Wolf one? How about new races, Otter or Orc? Not only human look-alike. PA all have pay-to-win stuff and big cash shop. All PA need is new players that want to buy costumes, etc. Stop inventing new ways to milk veterans. Carrick skins for $64 CAC. That is a big CAC. And focus on bringing new players by making new content as often as possible. That way PA will make much more money and give people that we want new outfits, not one for a couple months. About new Blackstar weapons doesn't matter because it's not endgame. I got Pendandy C10 and gonna wait 2 to 3 years for Dead God weapon. New Tap Blackstar is the same dead end as normal one. I forgot about one more thing. Season rewards 100 fail stack every time is boring. How about give 110, 120, 130, etc. if you can't come up with anything else? And one more thing, rewards for the level needs to be updated like 66 level pen ogre, etc. By the way, just made 1 hour on Miro, 11k trash, no aggers, 23 cavers, 2x Voltara, other trash made 370k an hour, 2% EXP on 62, 1k EXP plus on scroll. All right. I think, Matthew, you need a little timeout. That's what you need. Dragon Lux Art says, new purple black star is such a bait, not worth over C20 boss, which is so much cheaper, or still pen black star chroning should also be cheaper than new black star route. Yeah, I mean, it's just like I guess a general misunderstanding of it, but that's okay. Genesis, yeah, a C20 boss doesn't give you the same benefit as the God Eye because you don't get any monster AP, any of the bonus monster AP. So those two are not really comparable. If you only care about PvP, yeah, you just go C20 boss. If you want the PvE stuff, then it's a bridge between a pen black star, which is really hard. I don't like. I know everyone thinks you just tap it. It's like, oh, dude, I don't know why you wouldn't just get a pen black star. It's so easy, but it's not. It's actually really, really hard. So having something that's like a menial upgrade in between that isn't as difficult to get is, I think a lot of people value that. Genesis says, and the other thing too is you are given a choice, by the way. So if you don't like the route, you can just not take the route. That's the other thing too. That's the other thing that I don't understand about being pissed off about it. You know what I mean? Like, why be that angry about it when it's a route you're not forced to take? It's just for the people that want to do it, they can. If you don't, you don't have to. It's nothing to be angry about. All right, Genesis says TLDR Sage changes are pretty meh at best. Now keep in mind this is before the newest change. Borderline nerf for footsies and kiting. While I'm not sure some will like iframe and bolt, most of those that main it didn't want it back and caused community to rage again, potentially blocking the changes he really needs. We wanted stamina changes and at least damage slightly under, if not matching hash to improve his backloaded combos and fit the theme of a risky blitz class, not losing the shit they had for more iframe, which wasn't the issue, i.e. 2 free stiffs, RC costing over 1.5x amount of bolt to use, and move now blocking the basic quick kiting combos like bolt relay nerfed, O-bolt removed. And then he goes into more detail, but that was his TLDR. It's funny because I never see these people on hashes in Node Wars. It's odd that that's the end goal. CCAJJ says, if you think those changes on Sage as a buff, you are not looking the changes objectively, or you have no idea what is Sage problems, what Sage's problem at all. So please, before thinking that it's massive buff, look from other side because it's not buff, it's not. All right. And well put, well put. Greed says, these grinding changes are insane. Since I have a theme of joke reply and question for this week, can I ask you three, and if guest is there, what your favorite grind spot is? Yeah, Nashi, what's your favorite grind spot?
Right now it's gonna be probably Centaurs, actually. It's pretty nice and chill. It's pretty good money. But when I don't have Agris, it's gonna be probably not any of the pop piece grind spots. Fucking done with those spots. I don't know. It's Orcs is still plenty fine money. It's still good. There's just a variety of other options available that make decent money. We did Gyfin's 5-man last night, and that was actually pretty lucrative.
Yeah.
With blue, so
my all-time favorite is probably Secrea, followed by Star's End, but my current favorite is, I don't know, man. I guess I really do like Turos a lot, and I like Thornwood a lot. I like those two spots, partly because I like the outdoor atmosphere and the grass and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Those two are probably my favorites right now, but I have a feeling I'm going to really like at least one of the spots in Calpheon, so we'll see. But my all-time favorite is definitely Secrea, and there's something about it. It's just like it's the most BDO spot of all the spots. It's just like traditional Kind of pull, grind in a circle, kill the pack of mobs. They're nice and big, so you don't really have that big of an issue hitting them. It's a good spot, and they're satisfying when they fall apart.
Yeah, I'm interested in checking out that Hex one from Calpheon. That's the troll one's going to be obviously too much for my gear, but the Hex one looks interesting.
No, it'll be fun.
Just get one shot.
Yeah, you just got an iframe. Studsy says, I'm a scrawny little 268 312 Awakened Lawn. Where the fuck do I grind for money? I mean, honestly, a bunch of Valencia spots, right, are pretty good at that AP. I don't know how good Awakened Lawn is at Centaurs, but Sulfur, or, I don't know, Trees, Thornwood, Star's End. I feel like you kind of have a lot of options. Kratuga. Kratuga is really nice. Kratuga on Lawn Awakening is really nice too, because the mobs pull relatively well with your Q. TriConnect says, regarding the defense of 2 nodes, we had that happen a few times. Sometimes some snipe or snipe-like guild attacked our side fort. We have sent a flank to deal with them. They came back after 30 minutes for the main fight. We have been on defense for 30 minutes and just had the flank demolish their base, and then we went heavy on the offense. It happens, but rarely, I guess. Yeah, the idea of it is cooler than the reality of it, sadly. Daz says, love these spot changes, even if I get absolute shit RNG. Not a single pity piece with 300% drop rate buff. At least I still make decent money instead of just 20 mil.
Oh man, that reminds me, like, I didn't tell you this, but so I finished my infinite pot, right? That last piece, I was at 99. I had to do an entire fucking hour with max buffs on Arsha. It was insane.
To get the last one single piece.
To get the last single fucking pity piece.
That's how it goes.
And I average around 5 to 7 an hour at Blood Wolves.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's this person grinding that they, with a 300% drop rate buff, they don't get a single pity piece?
Probably Shuriken. That plays AIDS.
Really? Shuriken, that can happen? God,
if it's
sucks.
at nighttime, you get a lot, but during the day, it's, I don't know why, but for me, the pity drops are like really bad.
Yeah.
I actually stopped grinding there during the day, and I focused completely on night. But then I decided one time to just continue grinding during the day when it swapped over, and I got the fucking raw drop.
Balance Breaker says, just go big dick and aim for Pen Blackstar. No point in doing the work to end up with something that ain't the best. You will regret it at the end. I mean, then you have to... No one should ever be getting red nose accessories. You should never waste time getting even a Dandy or a Zarka. You should never... Like, people don't understand there's a bridge to these things that actually make a lot of sense, and sometimes you sit on them for a long time. There's no point in getting a Tet Disto. That's 20 bill. Just get 100 bill and get your pen earring.
Kind of weird logic.
You know what I mean? It's like, what? I don't think you'll regret it in the end, because all of these things are sellable. If you were locked like the way they do with the Blackstar armors, then yeah, you should just skip that, because it's a legit dead end and it's arguably worse.
Yeah.
But this is like, I mean, it's literally just a logical upgrade over Tet Blackstar. And if you want to bow out, if you're like, you know what, I want to go for Pen Blackstar, you could just sell it. And it's like the Tri and the Tet sell for like, what is it? Like 40, 50 bill? I forgot what didn't the guy send a screenshot of it? They're like 40, 50, 60 bill for these middle tier versions. So you're not like locked into them. Yeah, and some people, I mean, bro, Samnon is going through this right now where he's like 150 or 140 bill and into his Pen Blackstar attempts, and he still doesn't have it. And
well, lucky for him, he still hasn't reached the actual max price of it now that it's 200 bill.
Yeah, right. Mian says, I need 10 bill more for my Pen Blackstar pre-order, and then PA came out with this shit. Wow, thanks a lot, PA. Now all I have to do is run around in circles at Centaurs and Elvia for about, 100 hours more to save up enough money. Fuck this game, man.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Remember when I was telling you what my gear ideas were? Where one of the plans was potentially getting like a Pen Blackstar Awakening weapon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I'm really curious where they end up sitting after it's been out for a few weeks, where the price sits at. Because I actually don't think
either
like
no
of
one's
them
gonna pay 200 bill for it.
Yeah, I don't even think the Awakening will be 200 bill. I think I feel like the main hand will sit somewhere between 125 and 140, and the Awakening would be like 140 to 170. That's my guess,
Yeah.
but we'll see, I guess.
But I just don't feel like people are gonna pay that. Like paying 200 bill for a Wailing Fallen God or Labresca, sure, makes sense. But I don't see that with the Black Star. Too many people can tap it with J hammers when they fucking came up. They come out with them every time. I see so many new pen Black Stars every time they fucking have a J hammer event.
Yeah.
People will just fucking wait.
Here, let me check. I can do this. I'm gonna check the Black Star. Let's look at the Black Star amulet. 10 Black Star, 144 bill. Last sold price 99.5 bill. Current price 144. That's for an amulet. Let me see. What's like the most popular class over there? I guess gauntlets, right? Like people probably grind on strikers a lot.
I think gauntlets are probably gonna be your best bet.
Last sold price 154 bill for a gauntlet.
That's a pretty good price.
That's a pretty good price. Do we think it's going to go all the way to 200 though? I mean, I could kind of see the Awakening pushing, but I don't see the main hand going that high.
Yeah, I think too many people have main hands that want it, except for the newer players. I don't foresee a newer player grinding 200 bill.
Last sold price for Awakening is 122 bill. There's 4 orders for 131 bill for the Awakening guard brace in KR. So that one will still go up a bit.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right. All right. Nothingness King says, I laughed so hard when you guys got to my comment about the slow rotating joystick, but there is a setting on BDO console that allow you to disable the deceleration function built into BDO console that most players don't know about and use them seem clunky. But with it disabled, you have to practice at high speed to achieve similar effects to what you get on PC. The only drawbacks are we don't get to click on landing spots like you can on PC. I play Suck Ninja, and to be good with this class, you need to have a moderate to master level control, be able to keep up with the classes with insane movement that doesn't require much, like Zerk, Kuno, Lon, etc. Been watching your show for over 2 years now. I'd love to see a new member of the cast on the show give feedback on how it would affect console. P.S. Keep the content coming to see it. Love to see a new member of the cast on the show to give feedback on how it would affect console. Is he saying like a new member that plays console? Not 100% sure what that means. But yeah, we'll replace Nayashi
I'm not
here
sure
soon.
specifically.
We don't mind
I
replacing.
guess I'm rotating out.
Yeah, we could rotate Nayashi out of the console player. I could see that. Like every 2 weeks we bring on Nayashi, and then the next week we bring on the better Nayashi, which is just a console Meiwa.
Better Nayashi. Wow.
We'll call him better Nayashi too. It'll be like the beginning, be like, I'm better Nayashi. I'm Wrestler. I'm Frosty. That's just for the console version of the show, yeah. And then we'll swap back to the original intro when you're on. Unknown says, never heard Nayashi be this emo.
Emo? What was that emo about?
I don't know. Were you guys fighting about blooming again?
Was that it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't remember being emo. I don't remember the context of what this is referring to.
Yeah, chat, do you remember Nayashi being emo last week?
Was I emo last week? I don't know about that.
Oh, did Rezler post the picture of you in high school when you had your hair was dyed black and combed over your eye?
No. That never happened.
Don't lie. iDesync says, holy cow, poor Rezlar. I didn't know he had the worst enhancement RNG. Ugh, I'm glad it ain't me.
Yeah, Wrestler has some pretty rough RNG, to say the least.
Change the intro the same week as Better Nayashi joins just to let Worse Nayashi know where he stands.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Jesus, that
oh,
is toxic.
a Canadian dude says the intro would be I'm Nayashi that doesn't get stuck in a corner. I'm Reslar. I'm
Oh,
Rossi.
hold on. I have to defend myself on that one.
What?
Listen, I
What?
was not the only one that had that happen to them, and I didn't get stuck at a corner. I was just pretty much in a lose-lose situation.
You were a
So
pioneer.
I stayed there for the moment.
Should we watch the clip?
Oh, please don't.
I
I've
say
had
we.
enough of that
I
clip.
say we bring up the clip just to see what's up with it. You know. Let's see. Let's just get a reminder real quick. Here we go. Pull this up here.
Leave his back up, but Nayashi actually goes for the blooming and it's punished. Wow. Very, very risky blooming there.
Ooh, he's
And,
gonna have to take some damage to get out of there or
They're gonna
climb.
name that spot after.
Yeah, he's in a bad,
He's
bad spot
waiting for
here.
Yeah, he'd be-
He's
Oh,
stuck between
that's
a
it.
rock and a hard place and dies to the circle, dude.
Oh, he went into that
Oh.
corner. That's unfortunate. Look
Fuck.
at how
Yeah,
he
He's
dies.
stuck between a rock and a hard place and a bad, bad spot here.
It needs the duck hunt duck dying sound added to that.
No.
It needs the duck hunt duck dying sound or whatever the hell it is, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
oh my god, dude. GeoSurf says listening to these podcasts again made me want to come back and play. Finally got a good PC, so gonna make the switch from console. Only wish I could keep my fairy and dine. Yeah, that sucks. I wish you could too. Get a main archer this go around. Anyways, keep up the great work. Looking forward to playing again. Hope to see y'all out in the field. Well, let us know your experience, GeoSurf. I want to see. I'm curious after a couple weeks how your progress is, what your gear looks like, how hard it was, and also if you're having fun on PC.
Yeah.
Sven Hund says, during the inflation talk, something got touched on that I feel doesn't get talked about enough. The fact that PA basically price fixed pen weapons and armor. How do you guys feel about PA price fixing tier of gear this way? Will they eventually make a path like this to full pen Fallen God if they end up creating a tier beyond it? And do you think they will scrape that barrel? How do we feel about them price fixing tiers of gear this way? I don't look like early on it was pretty rough. I think when pre-central market, and then it was kind of rough in a lot of areas during the central market. But they've done a pretty good job of making most things relatively fairly priced. I mean, you basically have access to buy everything in the game. The hardest things are Deboreka, which is capped probably intentionally at a price that no one should want to sell it. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but it would be really nice if this cost like 350 or 400 bills so I could buy one. But I don't know, everything else is fairly okay. I don't know, how do you feel about it, Nayashi? The caps and stuff. I mean, what was I gonna say? The range of caps are pretty huge. Like a disto. I don't even know if we've ever even seen the cap. And like they said, what was his examples on pen armors?
What was it again?
His examples were, how do you feel about them price fixing tiers of gear? Will they eventually make a path? They basically price fix pen weapons and armor. I mean, the thing is, like, outside of Blackstar, like, the pen weapons and armor are free to go up, like, as much as they want. I don't think any of them even ever reach a cap. Do they?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have too much to say about caps on stuff on Marketplace. I mean, most of the caps seem pretty reasonable, or wherever the state they are in is pretty reasonable.
Yeah. A Canadian dude says free market for value packs when. That would be interesting.
True.
Wonder what they would sit at.
Probably like 10 bill.
Yeah, I don't mind the current caps that they have. They're not that bad. Obviously, it's not perfect, but some of them are pretty decent. Will they eventually make a path like this to full pen Fallen God if they end up creating tiered beyond it? Maybe. And then he says, and do you think they will scrape that barrel? I don't even know what that means. They're not. I saw Jay at VOA, and he was a pretty casual drinker. I don't think he's gonna be scraping the barrel. You know what I mean? Gear Grinder says Nyashi saying Kaffers will never not trigger me. That means you have to do it forever, Nyashi.
Oh, I mean, it's inevitable.
He's
I'm gonna say Kaffers forever.
He's working on Kaffers.
You know, I'm pretty sure last week I tried to call you out on it, but you and Rizzler were talking about something, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure you said Kaffers like how I say it.
Chat and comments if you guys find that clip of me saying Kaffers instead of Kaffras, let me know. She thinks it happened.
Kaffers. I mean,
I think it's you always hear your weird Boston, New York accent. Whether I say it or you say it, you always hear Kaffers. Maybe that's what's going on.
So it's just my brain filling in the gaps.
Yeah, your brain is saying. Like, okay, yeah, I want a couple Kaffers too. Frosty, want a couple Kaffers.
Probably.
It's definitely not a Florida accent, I don't think. I know a few people from Florida, none of them say Kaffers like you do.
I'll have to do a comparison, have Shaky say it and see what he says, because he's a Floridian. And then I gotta check with Not the Worst too. Is another Floridian.
Is that real, Armin? Armin quit as GM CM?
What?
Yeah,
No way.
Put out an announcement that he quit as CM GM.
Where?
Well, I posted the link to the image in my chat. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I mean, I guess if you quit, it's probably for what you felt was the best, but...
What?
It's big news, dude.
No
big
way.
News. Yeah. I don't know why you would say it. His last day is June 10th.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
Fuck. Now how am I gonna get my GM blessings?
True. All right, that's the end of the show. To close on a sad note, I guess.
Yeah, damn. That was rough. There's the feels right there.
Yeah. Well, maybe they'll stop buffing Nims and start buffing Kuno, you know what I mean?
Maybe he's taking a stance for Kuno, is that it?
Yeah, he was just so upset about Kuno. That's what it was, dude. It was like, this can't happen to my brother. He's good friends with Nihilus and Reezy, so maybe that's what this is. This is a stand, a fight for Kunos and Shais everywhere, you know?
Really unfortunate. Now he's quitting. I feel like when he was
he said he completed his job, they gutted Kuno and now he's leaving.
They gutted Kuno and Shai and now he's done. His work is done. He's pleased. He can retire in peace.
All right, we're gonna head out. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you to all of the patrons who support the show. Make sure you guys check out Rezlar, twitch.tv/notRezlar, twitch.tv/Nyashi_NA, and my stream, which is twitch.tv/SoFrosty. Make sure you guys leave a comment on the video. It will be up on YouTube. Next week, I think we'll be back to normal, but we'll let you know. Check the announcements channel in the Value Pack Discord. Thank you guys so much for everything. We will see you next time. Have a good weekend. Later.